न तातो न माता न बन्धुर्न दाता न पुत्रो न पुत्री न भृत्यो न भर्ता न जाया न वेद्या न वृत्तिर्ममैव गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि भवाब्धावपारे महादुःखभीरो प्रपात प्रकामी प्रलोभी प्रमत्ता कुसंसार पाश प्रबद्ध सदा गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भव.
I brought my clock. What's the time now? It's how long we have? 1.5 hours? Okay. 1.5? Pekamarak? Pastan? Okay. Because I need 4 hours actually. This, but I try to, because some of you have got used to being punctual, and it's a good quality, no doubt. But with monks, it's a little different. They have no appointments. This is a kind of bondage. So, yeah, I just heard just now when I was speaking, I was given as forest monk, and what was it? Yeah, really, also following Theravada tradition, right? Yeah, I'm following the Theravada non-tradition, actually. Theravada means the old, the orthodox. I see tradition as something my guru, my teacher used to tell me, it's a poisonous thing, especially for religion, not religion, for spiritual, experience. When it becomes tradition, the experience is lost. When there is experience of the spiritual, path, it's completely different. Originally, there was this experience, the wisdom and the peace. Those original beings, they proclaimed these teachings, and they were meeting human beings, and they, gave this knowledge and made them more happy and peaceful. So, yeah, this now. Well, I had to unfortunately wear this traditional, because we have, I wish I wore, your clothes, then nobody could know me, because Buddha would be well represented by just simply telling his principles, teachings, or methods, techniques of getting peace of mind. So I was also thinking just now, somebody asked Bhante, Sri Lanka, they have, when you see me like this, are you a forest monk once? They used to ask me, I told them, well, I am a solitary monk, really. I think I'm not a forest monk also. I'm allergic to people and to any kind of companionship or friendship. So I normally keep away from, I want to be alone. Alone means with myself or with this being. This has been for a long period, from the age of 18, when I came to this path. I found how much is necessary to be with this. So my talking, it will be just random, right? It will be going like this. So just how I. And the other thing is, I maybe who are first time coming here, just have little patience, and I hope I will convey some. Yeah, there are a lot of young people. And how many of you are new? First time you are meeting me, or see me like this? Let's see. Okay. Okay, it's half. Half means all of you have managed to come here, right? I was just telling, even my organizer was telling me, Bante, though it is told that it is for what it is, there will be mostly all the Sri Lankans will be here. I said, it's okay. No, it's my last program here in this place, and it's okay, anyone. It's my karma, my destiny, I see it, that I have to meet all of you, and I hope you'll get energized. So I have normally a stock explanation of certain points. I also didn't plan to speak about these things when I came to public in 2012. But these points just came to me, and I found that they are very relevant, because what blocks you to attaining highest liberation, it is in the old text, it's all explained, the mechanism of it, but we have to practice, like we have a recipe, If you don't practice, if you don't try to do in your kitchen, don't try to make these things, you'll never know. You'll have the recipe, and it just be a recipe, just a piece of paper with instructions. So when you try this only, you know all the technical things, you'll get to know what is, what this instructions means. So normally it is one important thing to get this intuition, which is very, we don't know today, modern day, we have hardly any knowledge about this. We normally know to sort of, it's like anything we do is from memory. We don't know to bring originality, intuition. Like this was very much known in the past. Because this, they knew about the mind, the ancient masters. They knew that the mind, it is like, say, like a pot of water. And if the water is, for example, filled with some kind of dye or something, like you put some colors, you can't see your reflection. So, same like colors, they say sensual pleasures, sensuality. Like the mind is drained out of his energy. You can see, you feel tired, right? After going to a restaurant, if you enjoy the meal, you can have a mirror in front of you and check your face how you're eating it. You look super energy like Superman or what? More the pleasure, the more the energy loss. You will see this. The other one is food. The main one is actually sexual activity. A lot of young people, I will touch all these points, but now them eyes are rolling, because I wish somebody told me like this, all these points, the mechanism when I was your age. But there's no class or thing in this kind of system of education. So, but if you're going to cover all these things and just have lectures, you're not going to come to anything. And I hope, this is like a sinking ship we are in, and better we put our life jackets and just rescue ourselves, save ourselves from falling into a kind of, even in this life. So, it's like a dye. This dye we put into, how many of you feel tired, waiting half an hour maybe? You would have seen this seed being made and all that. Okay. You're tired, you're saying for half an hour maybe. Okay, I'll try to rush through the points, but don't miss these points. And the last point will be my last blessings for all of you. I hope I can do that, and you had some patience. Because if I stay in the blessing form, I can't interact with you. Okay, I will do it in the last when I'm leaving. So you all will get, we don't talk about energy, talk about meditation. Let's get it now. Immediately let it come out. Let the brain be. So normally we think we have a lot of work and so on. That's why we can't meditate. No, my friend, that part of the brain is not open. It is not awakened. That is not functioning. We don't know the technology to open it yet. So, but the ancient practitioners, they did know, and it is part of, I don't know, for some karma. I also. I was in Lesotho, South Africa, as a young boy, and they are only like here a bit, and all this awakening took place in that country. And without any tradition, without, I don't know, I can only believe in previous lives, because how can this kind of thing come out? And later when I came to Sri Lanka, when I got met the teacher, my guru, he told the text, it was all confirming to what visions I had at the young boy. But that also transformed my behavior from, being with a lot of anxiety, or anxiety means I didn't see it was a problem. I used to get into fits of anger. Not like fit, it's like some kind of, I don't know, I used to be possessed by tremendous, suddenly, with close people. But before that, in Sri Lanka, I used to fight. In the school, I used to express it in physically. And my parents used to get so many complaints. And when we went to South Africa at the age of 14, then I became more disciplined, I didn't do that kind of thing. But with close people, I used to have these fits of, I used to just control myself, otherwise I would have killed them and so on. It's that much. So anyway, but meanwhile, this research was there in my mind, burning, not wanting to know what is going on. So I will come. So anyway, I will come to the other one. I just keep that chapter there. I will get blackouts. I will tell you why. Okay. So you all have to remind some in case I. So what happened? I was telling you the hindrances, they are called. So if you have a water, if it is full of colors, you can't, see your reflection properly. You must have clean water. Other one, if you have boiling water, boiling water means with anger and so on, then also you can't see the reflection. This Buddha says this, he explains it like that. And then with mud, and if you have, like mud and muddy water, that is called sloth and torpor, sleepy, drowsy, and so on. This also you can't see the reflection properly. And you have a doubting mind. This is called like, you have, again, impurities in the water. Okay? These sort of states drain your energy. As long as you have this kind of draining energy and you have this kind of things in your brain, you don't have fluid or lucid wisdom. That will not spark. The intuitive awarenesses will not get awakened. So, my friends, this is something, and in this modern day, there are so many ways we don't address this. We think it's natural, sometimes biological. That's how we, sort of justify all this. We call it like human nature. No, it's animal nature, my friend. It's not human nature. I will explain all these things. And if if these things are there, it's a big problem. So I'll go back to, in Lesotho. Well, so that time I had to be in this environment, okay, in similar to y'all, but in those colleges and so on, nobody told, even now I don't think no one explains in detail certain things, but they don't know. So luckily I didn't go for parties and discourse like that, because I want to go, but end of the weekend we have in school, in the international school, they used to have always discourse and parties and get together. But I used to hear what they do when we come back, next day. So, but I used to like to go more than those children even, to do all those bad things. But I was so shy to ask my father the money to get the ticket. So that way I was saved in a way. Even some of those, classmates, they used to think, why he doesn't like to enjoy life. That's how they saw. Actually, it was a girl who liked me, and I liked her also. And she found that I would not, these matters, I was like frozen. So one day they asked me, doesn't Shanaka like to enjoy life? That's how they question. So I told, what was it? Until, I don't know, I didn't think I'll be a monk and all that. I never imagined I'll be like this now. I want to be a scientist in a way. I like physics, especially Einstein. He was very something hopeful for me. The long story, it all was building through relativity theory, and I don't have time to tell all this, but I want to tell some important things which will help you practically. So that time I told, until I know the world, I will not play with it. This is how I told suddenly. I had a feeling this world works in a certain order, certain mechanism. I don't know this yet, but one day I'll come to know it. When I know that, I will go for the discourse and everything. That means when I become enlightened. Before enlightenment, you do something and you are in intensive care. Okay, in psychologically, and you can't no recovery, my friend. So, so luckily, because psychological damage is not perceivable very much, you can see from behavior, character, this thing you can know. There are like people's, selfishness and kind of irritability, depressed state of mind. These things are the result of stressed out, anger, fits of anger, like, I heard family violence and all that. I thought I had to talk on that topic. So anyway, yeah, like this. I was what is now the topic change to mindfulness and meditation. Okay, they all touch. Okay, I will tell you how to get real mindfulness. And so anyway, so these things you can know, but physical, you do some kind of mistake, you can know. You go in a motorbike and you crash with high speed. You can see yourself bandaged. It's very obvious with legs hanging on and parents coming and, oh, son, what happened to you? With tears. But psychologically, we do expect, we see children, we behave, but we don't know. Exactly, we don't see properly. But I'm going to tell you to see how to notice these things, very important. So this that time I avoided like that. And later on I had certain experience at of 18. And whole thing changed. My getting angry, this just disappeared, tell you honestly. But these are my good points. I will tell you my bad things also. So getting angry really disappeared, in the sense that, I counted the times from that age of 18 to now I am 45. For that period, how many times I have scolded people. So until my last visit to India, it was 4 times. And I thought 5th time will be, no 5th time until I leave this planet. I was thinking like that. But it happened 5th time also. I don't know, with this taxi drivers, I have some karma, They try to cheat or something, and then I was not prepared and they just caught me. And before time, I actually, I can't remember what I said this time, but last time I remember, I said, bloody fool. You get angry, you just tell something. It may be that he's doing something wrong, but it's more wrong to get angry. It's more this thing. So anyway, but you can't just suppress these things, you have to allow, you can't just act also you're not angry, my friend. Anger is coming because, like one of my devotees, now they are like missionaries, some of them. I don't want them to do like that. They learn something, they get some peace, they want to convert everybody. Okay, this is not my way. You just you perfect yourself, and your very example and your very detachment will be a big force working. So one time they had told, I saw one time when I was with some devotees, one policeman walking up and down, wondering what is he doing. Anyway, I was preaching or teaching these people. To see this one of my devotees in the, when they were in, some place, he has told this policeman, now they get angry very often, right? You get angry because you are helpless. They told in Sinhala language, asarana hinda tamai kenti anne, because they think anger is like something, a positive thing. You understand? Even in the army, they think, oh, we must, when you get angry, it's some good thing. But when he got to know that this getting angry is a weakness, it's something not because you're strong, because you're weak mentally. Then he said, who teaches you like this, this kind of thing? He said, there's one monk, and he happened to come there. And then he was telling all the depression, difficulty they're going through, because every moment of those negative energies, you lose energy. You feel tired, you feel exhausted, you feel more. Getting angry doesn't show you are happy, right? It's a inner. You're actually helpless, and you're suffering inside you, something burning in you, and you're expressing that. So, my friend, these are all suffering states. But anger, some people think, metta is the compassion, meditation, these are the solutions for that. No. First is how to stop energy loss, When you are, now even a monk, say myself, if you don't give me food, alms, for 5 days, and I don't get to bath myself, and I don't sleep for 5 days, you will not see me like this, okay? You can press my button. So, my friend, there is a practice you have to do. This you have to be very good managing director, like a businessman in this meditation. You must learn to conserve energy. I mean, you must know what is energy, what is the mental energy, how it is lost, and how to conserve it, and how to create energy. There is something. So other thing, I told you these 5 things. Now look, I'm jumping here and there, right? This is my way of teaching. One day we have to listen to this 3-4 times, then you will know some pattern. This is, my brain has got used to a certain type of mental way, right? My camera friend, he knows now, he has been now putting this into YouTube, and he knows now there is this something, Bante's brain working in a certain way. Yeah, some of you, I hope, it will help you all too. You can watch it, I think, again and again, and you get another point from it. It's something, just getting the things, and I'm telling like that, something like that. I don't know where I'm going also, and where I'll end up. That kind of thing, I mean, now. Immediately been, but I want to convey these points. These 5 hindrances, when they are there, my friend, your mind, now, we have 2 parts in your mind, brain. I mean, most of you are students maybe. Maybe you study, your brain is divided into what? Reptilian brain, and the brain that thinks and analyzes and discriminates. That's called the new brain. According to medical science, that's very well known. Reptilian brain, and the brain that works like an animal. And the other one is where you think, analyze, all this meditation, intelligence, wisdom, all that is operating in that new brain. New brain means, because Darwin, I think, it said that we come from chimpanzee, and that we are, how many of you think we come like that way? From chimpanzee? Yeah? How many of you think? I don't know. Do you think from chimpanzee we are evolved, now we suddenly came to human beings? Do you think like that? I mean, it's okay. That's how we are taught. Anyway, did you see any chimpanzee suddenly turning into a human being? A long time ago, long time ago. Then it's easy. You can't find facts, No one videoed it when they transformed to human beings. Okay, it is hypothetical, right? Is it? Now a new word is coming. I hope my vocabulary, because I have been not talking English for a long time, like in prison in Sri Lanka. Sinhala. My friend, nothing you should believe. Even science or religion or this thing, you must find facts. Okay? I can only tell one thing. You have heard of Edgar Cayce? Many Mansions? Have you read? I don't know any of you. If you have not, better to read these things. This like background knowledge. Like he was called the miracle man of Virginia. So he was like, he used to, people have difficulties and problems. Sometimes he used to diagnose their problems. Like, the causes, he goes back to some action you did in the Crusaders' time. And that you are facing. And sometimes he prescribed like poison. And people now, when they found the doctors, everybody, they are not giving any cure, then they went to him. He was in, I think, Virginia, I think. Anyway, he was well known. He has many books. They are called case studies. So this is very interesting to give you some idea, about that we had a previous life or something. I mean, you can just, I don't know, this explains many things. But something, just because it explains also, you should not take, that, because even science also explains certain cause and effect in a way. But this, it's nice to study and be open and find out. I'm not going to force and tell you. So when you, I had to go on talking, because we have learned not to think. And now to think means, this is a problem. So I'm trying to justify when I get a blackout now, that it's not a brain problem, it is some problem with my, so I'm also trying to be, very crafty in a way. Trying to, so I told you, you have the reptilian, I will go quickly to these points. I hope it will help you all in your life. You have the reptilian brain and the brain that according to what I know, I think we got it from good karma, good actions in the past. Alright? So this brain, when we think of food and things like that, now when you think of, I told you the 5 hindrances which weakens the mind, sensual desire, anger, aversion, irritation, they all fall into that, drowsiness, all these things, doubting mind, and worry and fear. These are the things, the mental hindrances they are called. They are connected with the reptilian brain. So normally we have opposite, they're called indriyas, opposite faculties in our brain. When we activate them, they are connected, what will help us to become enlightened. These five will not work. So these other five, opposite five, they are called faith, devotion. This is also in a special brain, it works. It doesn't work in the reptilian. I mean, you don't see devotion in animals, do you? Do you see them doing puja or, in the church, worshipping somewhere? Or do you see them giving, like going to charity functions? No. Do you see animals doing that? No, my friend. It is a completely a different type of brain they are working. And other part, devotion, this is with the special brain, not the animal reptilian brain. And then we have mindfulness. This is all in the special brain working. Then wisdom, that will only take place in the special brain. And other one is called, the samadhi, that you are able to concentrate, be tranquil, be one with one mind, with a relaxed mind. That will only happen with a special brain. And these are the main, and also effort is called virya. These also, they are all interrelated, interconnected. If these five, normally if you have one of these five even, you can counteract the other five hindrances. Alright? I'll quickly go because the younger ones will get, they've been already waiting long time. I will just run through the main points. So now remember this, you have these two parts. So when you have, I told you, nothing happens on this path. I always explain this, until you control two things. Nothing happens, One is your tongue, right? Other one is your, I don't know how to explain it, but sexual organ, alright? You can see, equally they are with more nerves, and the feelings also more. So even if you think of a particular food, I'm telling an example with food, okay, I can't give other examples too much. The food, even if you think of food, what brain, the reptilian brain is working. Even you don't have to eat it. You just have to think of it. That part of the brain works, my friend. And more you touch, it also works more. Now I want to go to this other one, okay, this is very important. Before I pass out here. This I am happy if I convey these points because I hope it will save. And I wish, now somebody might think, Bhante, this monk is telling to us, to our mind. Remember, all these experiments done to my own life. So you're like, you can't think, oh, Bhante is like a goody-goody, and you all are all terrible. No. These are all what luckily I had this darker side of me. Luckily in a way, because you can relate to me. If I was like coming a perfect being, then what happened? You say, Bhante, your story is good for you, but not for me. I had no hope. But when I was also in a rut and I came out of it, and how I came, of course, that's, if I come out of it, only a success story is helpful. Failure story, I should not be sitting here, right? It's not very encouraging. So anyway, this is very important. In the sexual aspect, say you have a, you have a kind of the highest pleasure you get in that. Okay, I can't give the name. Okay, you have to guess. And in that particular experience, the highest the pleasure in that, it is very known. The reptilian brain, that is the reptilian brain, completely takes over the full brain. Okay. In other words, the special brain gets shut down. Okay. Now, for monks, the Buddha has laid down grave offenses, levels of offenses. One is called grave offense, and others called lighter offense. Now, grave offense means connected with this. Now, there are 4 which if I break, I have to disrobe. And then there are 12 which are also, they are called Garukapati or grave offense. Well, I have remedies, but it's like, it's a bit of a process to do that. So, but anyway, I can recover from it. Now, we might think he has just laid down these things. Even in Christianity, I know there's so much knowledge about this, there are some who know about it. So this, they talk about it. Many religions talk about it, but religion has now disappeared from the planet in a way. If that was there, it will counteract this stress and strain and everything if we are practicing. Any religion, I believe, will give that strength. This very well researched, who are at least having a religious background in their homes, that they are not going for drug addiction and all these things. It's very well known, who are going to church or some kind of, that's the one that counteract, because these all other negative things are happening, acid and all that, right? Okay, I hear. I'm well informed now. Because there's all these things young people going to, and the police, what do you call it? Police department or what? These people, they are getting daily. It's nice, I must visit there and then come and give a discourse. Then I will know the current situation of crime and things that people are going through. So this is connected with what? The animal brain. So if nothing is happening to the human, the special brain you don't keep, you are going to behave like an animal. You'll have a human body, but you will be getting fits of anger. You will not consider, you will allow your anger. You'll sort of think how to bring anger. You'll not see it's a negative thing, a damaging thing. And I will tell you some other things that happens with all these negative emotions. So my friend, in this rules section, there is that grave offense. It's very interesting. The first two rules, Sanghadisesa is called. In the Sanghadisesa, the first two rules, it is connected with this experience. Buddha says, if as a monk, when I taken these vows, if I experience this thing, I will be breaking this. Why? Why he call it grave offense also? Because it's going to directly damage this special brain of wisdom and knowledge and progressing in this, the studies and all that. So that's why in the past when they were studying and all that, is well known, they remained celibate. Not only monks. This was a practice in the society, when they were going to school and all that, they saw the blessings of it. And today, when you break that way, there are all other you don't get children. You have, I don't want to tell all this, it will be like a sex education class or something. But, it is, you'll have all this, you'll have to take, they have now, business has been come out from that, you have all the tablets made, the ginseng, all these things. But my friend, self-control is the ginseng. You understand? And the other thing, when you do like this, you are going to look like a, like a nerd. Nerd? I don't know, that's how but that's nerd was that people who study those days, and but nerd means you're going to look really stupid. Your shine is not there, right? You look like, drain out. You look like 40 years old, okay? 20 years old, 40 years old, long face, these are the signs. You look less handsome, and no girl will come behind you. Because, you will be so drained out, and they will sense it. Or other way around also, right? So this, my friend, these are the positive side. I'm a marketing agent. Okay, but I will tell you these points, so this is very important. This brain, if it, so nowadays, these things have become habit. Now in the Buddha's time, that period, this was happening in few people in society. This kind of habits or this kind of things were done by few people. Because even these rules were laid down after 20 years. No monk did it. Then after 20 years, some monks, they got to know he did like that. Then he laid down, don't do this grave offense. Like that he started to lay down the rules. That means nothing happened. Now my friends, it's difficult to find a person who is not doing these things. You understand? Nobody, that's very difficult to find. So we are going to drain our energy. We will listen to lectures and all that, but we will not address this current problem. And this will be some kind of dream that we will see Nibbana or something like that, So, and if you correct these things immediately, not next lecture, whoever monk come, you will realize something. It's not something wrong with the lecturer. It's something wrong with the lecturer. Sometimes the lecturer also not realized and this thing, then also, nothing has an impact on the people. This you can test. If he's really a pure being who has really practiced and purified, he will make an impact. You will have to take a U-turn. This will happen, my friend. But if he's also just reading and studying and just coming and doing, there's no force in it. And for you also, when you have purified and practiced, you will be absorbing it. But otherwise, it depends on a person. He can make the others purified. He will make that U-turn. One being sacrificing his life, it will have some blessings to the world. So, other thing very interesting, in the Western world, there are people who have got to know these things, and they are, knowing the danger and the damage. It's not based on any religion. They have made, communities are organizing themselves. In the YouTube, you have this. You see, I can only operate YouTube, and I don't have a personal computer. You see, I'm anti-technology, all right? But I will tell about that also, what happens through that, something. But these particular groups have been formed in the West. I mean, maybe here also they know about it. I think 2 people, I said, yes, we are practicing this Bhante. They told me this, 2 Malaysians. And I had to tell silently where my organizers were there, because you know, Sri Lanka is a very funny country, you know. They have all this hush, hush, push, push, and then finished, kaput. Okay? You know, big problem, my friend. We had to, but not in Australia, I think they're very different Sri Lankans, I noticed that. And at least something good you have got from this country. But this particular thing, you know, in these countries, like in the West, I found, you know, you can refer this, it's called, no, I don't know how to tell this. You know, I'm also a little part of Sri Lankan I'm having. It's called NoFap, okay? NoFAPP. So you must have to refer. If you don't understand now, better be that way. When I leave Australia, tomorrow I'm leaving, then you can find out, all right? Because you'll never invite me maybe next time. Okay. That's all right. But NoFAPP, all right? You check that, especially the young people from age of 14 onwards. And even older people, that might help you all. Now I will tell you, this is a big energy. Why Buddha has given these rules? Especially for sexual activity and food. So they are connected with the animal brain, right? Now I will tell you, I want to tell you the positive side when you do these things. Okay, now in our life, normally we have, they're going to get bored, but I had to tell this talk. In our life, normally we suddenly know that we put ourselves in mud. Suddenly we are there. Suddenly we go and, you know, maybe we go to a nightclub or some kind of, you know, in the internet, no need nightclub today. We have internet in our room. We can go anywhere. You understand? So these things, suddenly we go out of track. We don't want anyone to see us or know us, what we are doing. There are things happening in our life like that. Anything we do hidden, my friend, is damaging, okay, which we are not open. So suddenly we know we are coming for programs like that. We may go for good things, but suddenly we find in city and town, we suddenly go out of track. Now when you have this kind of thing, out of track means what? Your mind is activating the desire, sensual pleasure, or anger, or some negative emotion to a certain pitch. Now when you activate it to a certain pitch, corresponding to that mental state, certain dimensions are there. They get opened up. When they get open, those beings, there are beings in those dimensions, they are lower dimensions, they enter your body. I hope in the end when I'm blessing or something, nobody, you know, because behind you also there are invisible things coming, you might not know. Well, I study more of the invisible, because truth and reality is more invisible, right? Now atoms and protons and this function of the atomic structure, do we see from our eyes? No, but it is more real, right? That is more reality. That is, you are coming closer to reality of matter. So truths and facts, you know, they are really not seen from our normal senses. So anyway, when you activate like that, you open up certain dimensions, and there are beings from those dimensions come to your system. Now when they come like that, then these are the ones who drive you to this. Suddenly you don't want to do it even. It gives you special energy to do this kind of sinful things. You understand? And when this is a common problem today, but we don't know, we think it's some destiny, some karma, and this some circumstance like that we think. And we do have suddenly meetings, those friends or those situations, coincidences happen. They are created by these beings. So if you allow like that, they get stronger and stronger. You nourish them. But when you know they are going to kill you, they are damaging you, it's going to destroy your life, when the next temptation comes, you are able to keep away from it. When you are done once, you get that willpower. The second time, more strong. Third time, when you are not giving nourishment to them, they'll have to leave. And then those dimensions get closed. Like in your character, the holes in your character get patched up. So this is, you have to do these things. Now my friend, when you do like this, something happens. More you are doing like that, your mind, you know, gets energy. You are losing those holes that are draining your energy, and that energy normally now another one I will tell you about this before I come to the positive side. Other one is like with some rishis, you know. I don't know, you heard of rishis? Now I have two particular type in my life. One is the rishis, the Hindu yogis. They are also connected with my life from young time, and the monks. And my guru was a very special person who inspired me. But do you know, any of you know that now I look all okay, right? But do you know that I went through a certain experience? Did anyone tell you? I mean, there's people do explain that a forest monk like that. All right. Do you know that I faced near-death experience recently, and that was one of the reasons? No, nobody. No, nobody. I must remind you all this also. Then you'll get some feeling what I'm saying. You get some determination. I go to Himalayas very often. So from 2008, 2009, I have been going to Kailash Mansarovar, Western Tibet. Before I have been going to the Indian side of Himalayas. So I face near-death experience as a forest monk when I'm going from jungle to jungle. In 2004, I also faced some things, and in the end of the program, I will do some of the one small in a short form, the practice I did to get peace of mind and how to face death, using the old text, how to make it practical. This I will just demonstrate last part, okay? So that time I faced near-death experience, and in the jungle only a robber actually served me, and because of him I'm living today here. That was in 2004, long time ago. And after that I do this practice which saved me, my mental peace, that I do daily. Whenever I got up from sleep, I used to do this and then do the other things. So after that, 2014, I faced also altitude. High altitude sickness you have, this very, this I faced. And there also, but I nearly lost life that time, but it's 2015, I had the severe experience. I was almost going to go into a coma. I don't know whether you know, if you medical science, high altitude sickness. There's no medicine, you have to go to low altitude. And it will take 3 days for me to go down, at least to Lhasa or somewhere. And 3-4 days. So anyway, I got this near the lake, Mansarovar. And so I prepared to leave. I had the guide and the driver who took me there. So no, nothing. They had not brought oxygen also. Normally they have a can or something, but they thought I was fit, and also they did a mistake in that way. But that time, I have to, prepare for death. And I have trained one practice how to prepare for death, to how to watch yourself, the so-called thing that dies. There's a practice. So then you don't think you are dying. You'll be observing what is going on, the so-called body and feeling as an objective. I mean, as an object, not subjective way. So when I was doing this, before doing that, the first thought, another thought came that I have not shared enough with the people. Now this thought, I mean, because long time, even I was invited to what is this place, States, when I was a young monk. So I told these people who invited me that time, when I'm an Arahant, I will come. You know Arahant, the term Arahant? Arahant means a fully enlightened person. That means how to know, it's not a name or something. In the mind, if you attain that, you can know. You will not have any lust, no greed, no hate, no delusion, no ego feeling. You will be fully awakened always. When you are in that mental state, this is called Arahant. So you can know, if you introspect yourself, you can know that if you have attained that, you have not those qualities in you. So anyway, I was serious about it. So I was practicing all these years because I didn't want to be a hypocrite. I thought if I'm going to help the people, I must truly be, So anyway, after this experience, I realized that I must share something. So that, until I work for my PhD, at least with my masters, I must do something. And so when I got certain definite kind of signal from my gurus or anything, I embarked. But I had second thoughts even the last night when I was coming here. This was the first time after South Africa I was coming to a Western or this kind of country. And but all the way up till now, I feel very happy. I feel I had done the right thing. So sometimes, you will be guided properly. You will know. You will be doing your duty, because next time I will not stop. I'll be going to Kailash now after this trip. And if something happen, I'm sure I will not have this thought. Right? This is very important, that you don't have regrets. And this thing when you're facing, so you have to settle these things. It may be with your parents. Now it started when I was a young boy. I want to be a monk suddenly. And luckily, it took a little time for me. Now I see some of them also just want to be a monk or do this, do that. Irrespective, don't care about parents, nothing. I had the same feeling. But luckily, with my own meditation, I understood, the importance of them and how we have come to them. It's not by chance. And but it took some time, but I didn't make major mistakes. I didn't hurt them. And sometimes people thought I had some special powers. In the jungle where commandos are put, I no ration, nothing, no food. But I cut across that jungle, wounded all over, and with leeches and but how did I keep my presence of mind? I had no compass, nothing. In the jungle you need a compass. If you have really been into, you can't see the direction, all look same. And so that time I chanted one. I was really weak, but I kept strength and determination. I chanted one thing. For 10 years, it took me, 10 years I was making my father happy. But I did the practice. He wanted me to go to university, complete it, and then study. A job also I did for 2 years. So this period, I did these things, knowing first when I went to university and I found he was blessing me and I saw my meditation really progressing. So I realized that, this is not just going to monastery or something. You have to harmonize with your environment. It should not hurt close people, what you are doing. If it's hurting, okay, it doesn't matter. After 1 week you are going to fly, no problem. You can hurt anyone and do it. But if you are not going to fly, better take the ground path, because better harmonize your wife, better harmonize your children, better harmonize your... So I hope this will ring in your mind. I don't know why I'm saying like this. This will help you, my friend. There's no time for me to tell in detail all the mechanism of this. These are, we have learned, we have a lot of knowledge today to live, okay? To how to earn money, how to but we have very zero knowledge about life. You understand? We don't know, my friend. We are so innocent. We will feel suffering like nothing, because we don't know how to harmonize. We don't know how to, bring the peace of mind to us. We know that we are interrelated with other beings around us. And when we know like this, we will be careful not to hurt any person, and so on. So anyway, so what happened to me? Okay, where am I now? So okay, in the jungle, I chanted this to keep my presence. My father bless me, my father bless me, my father bless me. Now some people thought I had some power, because how to have this energy, physical and mental alertness to judge correctly and go in the direction where you will meet some human being. Meeting a human being is a big thing when you are lost in the jungle. It is, you see the the luxury of being with human beings. Somebody will help you, but there you don't know. No animal will not come and help you. It's no chances. They will eat you. So that time, I chanted this. Small things make, and that foundation is strong, you will do great things. So this is it, okay? This is very important. Now I'm going to the other one. All right? Now, I told you behind you there are invisible beings, but you don't know. But you can know from your actions you do what is happening to you, what is behind you. Now, there's one person I call rishis, I told you, like who has some mental power, samadhi, they have developed. I happened to meet one person one time, and he used to help people who are suffering, who are like people who have problems. They used to come to him, and he had the power to who are invisible, to make them come into your body. Then you're not conscious, somebody else is talking. I don't know whether you have experienced this. Anyway, but today I hope they are not here. Anyway, sometimes people who are like this, who come near me also, it just happens something. Something, maybe my invisible angels doing something, Anyway, so I told some of them to go, don't keep near me, but I'll be blessing, no doubt, for all these things to get removed. Then what happened? this person was able to, bring those beings into the body, and, so there's one boy, one mother has brought, like he's always the computers, complaints are like that. He's not studying, suddenly he's going for parties and discos and, nightclubs like that. So then what happened? This particular, this thing, I saw this, he suddenly, just determined something, and this boy was not conscious. And then he was like this, and they said, "Who are you?" "Some snake spirit or something." He told like this, "Snake spirit." And he said, "Yeah, this is my body. This is my body." Something was telling like that. And then he asked, "What was it? How long you are now here like this? With him?" He said, 10 years or something like that. "How did you come? Now he's questioning the rishi or the sage. How did you come?" He questioned like that. He said, "When he was playing games." This is for me also. He was playing games, the computers. This thing has entered that time. That time I didn't understand, but now I do understand. Now we know that when we wish metta, karuna, that compassion meditation is done, where you are wishing all beings be happy like that. When you are then you are creating a consciousness from that mental function, and higher consciousness. Actually, you are trying to have the God's mind. Okay, then you get God's consciousness if you really get absorbed in it. So when if that happens that way, say the other way, if you are telling kill, something connected with the reptilian brain. If you are having, when you are doing those things with the computers, if that is awakening the reptilian brain, okay, then what happens? They can enter. Now that's how habits are formed, addictions are formed, my friend. So when now I'm telling you this, I don't think maybe I'll survive wrong. Maybe the demons will catch me and destroy me, telling the secrets of their function. But I think maybe if the good forces like to keep me in the planet, but this is my job and duty, so it's very important. Now these things I also found for myself, but I was never with the computers. I'm an old-fashioned monk. But these things are happening. Another place they say they entered through, what was it? Facebook. I only know the name Facebook, but I don't know. You can only find out if you are from the Facebook or whatever, your raga, dosa, moha, your greed and hate and deluded mind, mental states are activated. Surely it is a way, and you want to keep it secret that nobody is going to see you what you're doing. Definitely those beings catch you. Now that other one, they say that when he turns to the page, that page, something I don't know, web page maybe, okay. That page, he's already in our control. That way, I don't know, maybe somebody told me like something not good to see, you just even peek, then they catch you. So you must know not to even do that, knowing if you're going to come out of these temptations. And realize this, so if you keep away for some time. Now the other thing they told was, now there's so many things I saw, but I wish I can't remember now this discourse. I'm repeating what I told me, but so many I saw, very interesting, that gives you insight. And some of these, then one time they said when holy water, like, what was it, from the Pirit and chanting, that holy water, when it was spread, he said, "I'm burning, don't put this." Burning. Now I am not a person who recommend all these, rituals and things like that, because, I come from a very direct experience of the Dhamma from a entirely, not from a traditional way. So, but when I saw this working, I would recommend. You might, without putting some kind of, scent or something, better to put holy water, you might attract ladies better, because he might look pleasant and charming, alright. Other one is just, you're putting like a ninja man, you just put activate the animal brain, and then, just delude the mind of this. I will explain that also, very interesting. So my friend, this thing was very interesting. And other one, he said, don't tell the name of that person. Now I think, if you're a Christian, I'm sure if you tell the name of Jesus, it will work too. So here it says, the Buddha's name. That time Buddha, he said, don't call his name, don't talk about his name. It also some of us nearly die. So then there's chanting and reciting some kind of hymns or whatever. If you don't like this kind of thing, that means those spirits are there. You're more controlled by them. You understand? You have a liking means you have some protective angels, no doubt. You can know what you like and dislike. Someone doesn't want to come inside even, those forces are there, my friend. Definitely. Especially when Bante is coming, they know they're all operated. Alright? But all of you have some powerful force, no doubt, that is bringing you and driving you towards, you have some destiny, you have some mission, I guess, in this life. I'm feeling this. So anyway, this period, especially this coming time, this is a very interesting period. That another thing, you might think you are a bad guys if you are doing these things. And these spirits, they tell like this, who are specially destined to do great things, they see, they notice that, they have some kind of divine eye, that they see a star in you, you know. And those special persons only they really catch. You understand? So who are really having this problem, they are destined to do something. They are the very people who are having these addictions and so on. This is very interesting. So you must know, you are to do something. So this now I have told you some things. If you have, you keep away. Then the other one they say, before I forget, when this reading that book, some of us died. Which book? The original scriptures. Now this is very interesting. This is helpful for me. Because I want to direct people not to rely on preachers and teachers. Even mine now, recorded and listen. If you can go to the original teaching, this is very important. Because no one can trick you then. You having a direct master contacting, not through traditions and interpretations. You go directly to him. And I believe you can only see reality and truth through the connection of that. I mean, it's not easy for me to explain all this. In the jungle, when our teachers guided through that way, that's our real GPS. I mean, not unfailing GPS, okay? Because I think sometimes GPS also. This is a real proper map for you. I got used to GPS going in these vehicles these days, in this country. I never knew, I only knew the name those days, GPS. GPS, Guru, position, huh? Yeah, this is my GPS, okay? So if you now when you know like this, if you keep away, now they say don't read those books, that some of them really died. So in Sri Lanka it's nice to tell, because they are all doing these rituals and tying talismans and things like that to ward off spirits and things like that. Now they know this is the most effective one, because my friend, the greatest force that will, the passions only created these things. Our passionate mind created these dimensions and these beings. Now passion you get because of illusions, fantasy. When you break the illusion and fantasy, passions can't exist simultaneously. It just get destroyed. So passion, illusions and you could say mirages, when you sort of break it, means wisdom. You're seeing through the kind of trappings, you see through the reality, and that way it can't exist. If you have seen the truth, really you will be detached, or dispassionate will come automatically. You can know whether you have it as an experiential level, then you will automatically, there's no question of letting go those things. Like you're holding a string and you see it's a snake, there's no question of throwing it away. You see the snake and you will just, so because you're living in an illusion, fantasy, and normally we justify, we want to live in an illusion and we justify, nothing happens to us. When we get to know that's going to damage us and hurt us, we are never going to go behind it. Okay? But we have to be convinced, and we must really realize these things are going to destroy us. So I have told you these 3 points. Better to have these old texts, whatever. I mean, if you're Christian, the Bible, the New Testament, these are all good. If you're, I don't know, I have read these things also, and they are nice. And if you're Buddhist, I mean, you can go through that also without interpretation. There are also many people, they are attached to certain views and they want to interpret. That means they have not experienced the original words. Then whoever explains too much the Bible or scriptures, that means they have not realized it. Okay, who have realized, they will not explain too much. They will say the practical points how to do these things, and it will become a realization in you which you can't explain. That it is unthinkable, it is infinite. The experiences are infinite, it's going to a range of infinity, and not in the experiential way of to the senses. So my friends, these things I told you. Now I will tell you the other side. Now when you refrain, when you get to know there are bad habits like that, and you refrain 3 days, 1 week, 1 month, slowly you manage to count the days, because it's a tough thing. something happens, when your mind gets cooled down, also some hormone should get created. Like adrenaline is created when, get angry and worry and fear. And then what is it? Now for addiction, dopamine, no? It's dopamine, I think. It's shot out from the brain, I think. And I heard, in Oxford, they have made this research that for what is this game addiction, addiction to games. This is creating what is equal to a heroin addict. Did you go through that? Heroin addict, the dopamine that is secreted or whatever. Oxytocin, okay. Thank you for wonderful. Because I need to get those terms. That is very very clear, that is secreted or pumped out or whatever. Same as a heroin addict. And the other thing also, I wish I could explain those things clearly, about addiction to, I don't know how to say, if you have addiction, something strong, addictions, because they depend on fantasy and illusion. So when you're in a calm situation, you must try to go through those things without the experience. Like say you saw something in the computers, okay? That is now haunting you. You want to see this again. Now, this is a problem. What you do when you don't have that drive, when you're calm, you remember those things consciously and go through the thing, without the urge. And when you go through that, before time what you did, how you went to the computer, how the feeling you got, the burning sensation or whatever, and how you went and, pressed, and suddenly, you get the shocking feelings, you must check that. What happened to you? And then you want to go, and then you don't know, you're caught up, you don't see the sin part of it, or the damaging part, nothing, you're taken over. And then you go into another thing, and then after you ended that, what happens to you? You go through that. It's not a small exercise. Then you will be seeing some facts which you never saw with the experience. And that will be another part of the special brain has been, that next time when the temptation comes, after that exercise, it will be different. You will be able to hold back. Alright? Now when you do these exercises, very fast I'm telling, I hope you all can, gather all these points, tuck. Where's my time bomb? Okay. Right? Oh, we are coming to a deadline, is it? Okay, wait a minute. I told you 4 hours normally, but I will surely do it, okay? I don't need, I have done enough for you all now here in Australia. Enough, maybe another time. So, now when you refrain from these things, my friend, when you get calmness and purity, something should get excreted, but something should also, like adrenaline and endorphins. No. Endorphins for when you're running, no? Right, that is also, endorphin. When you're running, these things are secreted, okay? So like that, another thing should get secreted when you get calmed down, okay? And with positive thoughts, elation and some kind of special brain working in a powerful way, like wisdom, reading, and getting some, then also something should get formed. There is something that get formed. That is called ojas. That is in the Ayurvedic only do you have this. Ojas, tejas. Now my friend, this is when this substance is made much in your body, because the other one you make, it creates muck in your system, poison. And normally there are spirits who eat that muck and they rotate around your body and so on. That's why you might wear nice clothes and everything, but you look so, smelly, smelly means your personality looks so this thing, so you'll have to show your visiting card, or you have to talk and tell I'm like this, I'm like that, and create pictures in others' mind, okay, and be accepted. You understand? What a problem this is. So, but if you have, now these are there. Now, if you rectify these problems, like 1 week, 2 weeks, my friend, this ojas is created. And when you meditate daily in the morning and so on, after 1 week you will see the change. And this ojas normally goes to the brain. And the areas of the brain which was not functioning, they start to function. They start to open up. And that substance get deposited in the brain. Those fine parts of the nerves which were never functioning, they start to function. And when this happens, my friend, that makes you have automatically, like some kind of addiction also that is, it makes you do the spiritual things or good things or intellectual things, which makes you bright. When this happens very often, there will be a shine coming in your cheeks and your forehead. So I tell, don't lose that shine. It's called kaivaile in the Sanskrit term. That means your aura. That now, knowing this, you don't have to use fair and lovely then. You understand? You have the special charm. The charm will come. Whatever you do, whatever you say, you don't need this kind of tags and things like that. You get calmed down. You don't talk a lot. Unfortunately, I'm also doing it now. Okay, maybe I'm also having this problem. But you will not talk a lot, you will not babble. It will be, people will want to hear you, see you. Many things will happen. You have a magnetism will form. So if you do the other way, it will be the opposite of being magnetic. You understand? It will create so I'm telling you all the possibilities as a human being. So these benefits will come. Now even models, they do this yoga and things like that. They know it's not makeup only that makes them beautiful. They know that it's personality and things like that. So they do yoga and all these things. But the problem is that all done with attachment to the body. Because some of them, even if they have a scratch, some accident, I got to know one of our lecturers in the university, psychology lecturer, he used to tell us, those great beauty queens and all that, they used to come for, consulting him. And they are just a scratch. They are so worried, they can't bear that small, this thing. So I'm thinking, what will happen to them when they get old and so on? Then realities of life come, they might commit suicide. Somebody told me when I told this, they go for plastic surgery. Am I right? Lakhs and lakhs. I feel sad, I don't want to laugh about it. No, never. Just imagine. I mean, you go for plastic surgery and things like that. And I also get to know, if you go on this way, I mean, the old age care, right? You have this age care and things like that. And some who are working, they say, I mean, if there's no process of cleaning your system, any kind of wisdom or some process in the society to do this, we can't hide the suffering. The sufferings will be hidden, in this thing I realized, at those age you are having relationships, like hidden. That's another story they said, like very old. I mean, I don't want to talk about it also, but just to show you some facts. Like one time, I don't think that is too graphic. Anyway, some kind of it's not nice. It's not hilarious for me. Also, I feel sad about it. When I, because the mind is working so much. The body is old and this thing, but the mind. That's why sometimes you have 40 years. What is this? 80 years. You marry the fifth wife, right? This is fifth marriage, like that, and they are still expecting a kind of fulfillment through this relationship. They don't know there's something problem with their brain. There's something they're deteriorating. It's not from the object around you. I think all of you are told about how to find a perfect husband and that book written about it? No? Most of you know it, or what? I had to tell to this audience, right? How much boring doesn't matter. All right. Okay, I know you have heard it 1,000 times. I must tell this because at least this will help you some way. Because I am not, now this YouTube has problems and this thing. Now we monks, we present the moment and I want to give you an impact now and leave. But the problem is if you have seen these things through YouTube and this and that, then these modern things also upset our mission. It has its benefits and it has its... people who can never come, they get a chance. That's a good thing, But if you see that and come, then I can't surprise them. But anyway, then I had to be creating. I'm not a preacher, I'm a practitioner. If you want to really, next time you meet, you do these things, then we are together. I'm coming to go into the, battleground. We are like, I would say, commandos in this practice. As a jungle monks, we are not, hanging around. So where was I now? I was going to tell you something, about this. There's a book written about how to find a perfect husband and how to find a perfect wife. So this was in some CNN or something, this bookstore. I don't know, you have them in South Africa, we have CNN. Here, I don't know what are the bookstores. So this gentleman went to this bookstore and asked the manager or the cashier, where's this book, How to Find a Perfect Wife? That's written by somebody, Jason Fernando or something like that. Jason, Fredris or some name. Said, go to the fiction section. So my friend, this is all, but I will tell you a new one nobody has heard, okay? You should not change your destiny. Destiny will come behind you. You'll change, then otherwise you'll find it's the same wife. You're finding a different form. Now I have a friend in Sri Lanka, he's called, I don't want to name him because, I don't want to kill him, This recording is also a problem sometimes. Because this one, he's the one who directly helped me organizing certain things in Sri Lanka. So this gentleman, he was friendly with a girlfriend before, and then he married another lady, okay? So he's like, I know him here and there, but I never had intimacy with even friends from the age of 18. It was a different life for me. So anyway, he told me, Bante, my wife, is so hot-tempered, and I get all this type of girls only I get, He told me, like, when I was, before my girlfriend also same, so hot-tempered, so, much, treating me well. I said, don't worry, so come, you better wait. So I will tell you a chapati story, okay? In India, the cheapest food is chapati, all the poor people eat chapati. Any of you know this? You know? I told you all, in Sydney. I told already, okay. Anyway, okay, no problem, I will tell you, but the point is important. So, what is the cheapest food here in this country? Sorry? I mean, a poor person will eat every day like staple food. What is it? Do you know? My friend, what is it? You know? No, I don't want to talk about it, is it? Okay. Sorry? Potato chips? But that's snack like, no? No, who is hungry and who want to, just make his daily, maybe it's toast or what, I don't know. Bread. Yeah, bread, okay? Okay, alright. So, say, now, maybe there was a very rich family. So from that rich family, there was a daughter. She married a poor boy, okay, who had not much money. Maybe like me when I was okay. So this boy, he had so what happened when you have to go out like that? When you get married, then you have to also be poor. So the girl, they are to always eat, maybe bread, okay, daily bread, and I don't know, maybe butter and something. I mean, this was their staple food, maybe with Marmite, Vegemite, okay, something little bit. So they used to eat this food. So they thought, maybe, we visit our, one day the son-in-law, he thought, okay, every day we are eating this food. Maybe we go to our, father-in-law's house, and in dinner time, and maybe we tell we are going to meet them, and they will invite for dinner for sure if you go around 7 o'clock, and we can have some change dish, so like that. Maybe pizza, I don't know, or macaroni, something, I don't know, or biryani, chicken biryani from India. And so anyway, so they went. They told we are coming, and the father also, after a long time, my daughter and son-in-law, they are coming. So he maybe called the butler or whoever and said, they are coming today, please, you must be there for dinner. They will prepare a very special food for them. So when they came, they did come, and then he thought, they suddenly got an idea, He told the butler again, make them a surprise, make them at home. You prepare bread and, some with butter and something like that, because so that they don't feel out of place, they would. So, but get the best bread and best, everything. So they prepared, and it's all closed, in the plate, and they brought to the dinner table. And then now he was not anxious about all conversations, the son-in-law. He was very keen to go immediately to the eating part. He was so hungry. Thought some special, for so many years I couldn't afford to eat anything properly, So when he opened this thing, and he saw the bread. Then he looked at the bread and said, how did you come so far? Then the bread spoke out, said, your karma brought me here. Your destiny or whatever. So my friend, better not change your bread, better have it. So whoever wife you have, whoever husband or a relationship, don't prepare to change like that. You'll make a lot of more karma, and you will get more worse people. You understand? Because you are reflecting yourself, you're creating the destiny. It's like a cycle. It's like comes back to you. What you send out, it comes around, they say, right? So you will notice if you have wisdom, but problem is when you do all these things, you lose wisdom also. You don't, you begin to not sense what is going on. So these things I hope you keep in mind. And I was talking about Ojas. Okay, I talk about Swami Vivekananda. I must give you this point also. Have you heard of Swami Vivekananda? Anybody? No? He was, I unfortunately don't know. You must have this background knowledge, Mahatma Gandhi and Swami Vivekananda. I think the young people, he was the coolest guy in 1895. Actually, there's this Parliament of Religions in Chicago, and Anagarika Dharmapala, he represents Buddhism that time. And Hinduism, there are few people, but he came by chance. Swami Vivekananda, he was a yogi, a meditator, but he was unknown, a young monk somewhere, right? So he came there, Chicago Parliament of Religions there, and then he became very famous. You know, he was very reluctant to speak. There were 7,000 in the audience, all from the high society in Chicago. And there was something also behind it, you know, they were not sincere about the parliament. But he suddenly came, and they didn't want to speak. He was so nervous. And when his time came to speak, what happened? He told one word, you know, sisters and brothers of America. When he spoke that, they say, now those days there was no recording or anything. In the paper reports, they say the parliament went mad. They started clapping for 5 minutes. And in some places they say we felt like paying tribute to something which we didn't know what it was. Some force, you know. And somebody later asked, what was that, Swamiji? What was that power you had, you know, what was it? Then he said, in India, there is a practice where for 12 years, they control even thinking about the opposite sex. They control their mind, you know, and then there is some layer, like a veil in the brain, it goes away after 12 years of practicing that. And then, like a super brain is there in that, it starts to work. And that practice, he did it, and that purity burst out. But when I read that or got to know, you know, I felt a little hopeless, because I can't compare my life with that kind of practice. Because I told you, anger I can boast about, but sensuality is a fight. And so it takes long, according to the scriptures and the practice, you know, it takes long for it to go away. So you must have patience. But keep the practice going. One day it will disappear. So this is very interesting. You must go through this, you know, studies what these great people did. You know, how they did it, what was their... And the other thing, we know about the famous part of them, you know, many of the great people. But they also had so many diseases, so many court cases and so on. So these are also there, my friend. You must know that everybody is going through. Now, today I didn't speak about those things normally, but now we are going to the super deadline. I will do the meditation, right? I don't want to, and we will just maybe wind up, right? Any question you like to ask? I think I covered. I have another important one. I must tell this also. Okay, who are practitioners, who want to really practice meditation? I'm talking about how to really master certain things. Now you will read these steps in the, like, you know, when you read the what is this? What do you have that? Cookery demonstration or what? Recipe? Yes. Really? Okay. Okay. But still, I don't want to keep you long. I want to take a good rest also. This is my last program, but I will not make sure you will not lose anything. I will make sure that this is for you the best program, or for my part. Thank you for telling me that. You know, it's like feeling right, because I don't want anyone to leave. You know, I don't want to, because last moment I'll be giving something for them, and I feel sad if they miss that. It's not the talking part. I'll be doing something in the last moment when I'm leaving. I hope you, because you will take all these things, get this knowledge, these techniques, and you take something from me, something you don't know. Okay. I like, it's like a kung fu shot, you know, that I want to do it. Yeah, it's something. I used to like Bruce Lee so much. He was my hero. Maybe one birth I was in China. I think so. Yep, I think so. Because it's too much. I used to like, and I used to hit with those practices when I was young boy. And in South Africa, it changed. I didn't have. I went for sports, but then after the age of 18, everything changed. It was a different kung fu, different shot. So this practice I want to tell you. Now, my friends, you want all to meditate. You want to stop your monkey mind, okay? But if you don't follow this proper, in like a recipe, you don't follow the proper orders and understand the instructions properly, you will not really get that tasty food. That means that peace of mind, that tranquility. Nobody can easily meditate. You know, it needs some skill, some intelligence to interpret it properly, those instructions, and do it. So one particular practice is called Indriya Samvara Sila. It's called, in the old text, it's called the sense control. Now, my friend, sense control, you see, So you take the eye for example. I can look at you like this. When I look at you, I see your details. But I look at like this. You can look at my eyes, you know. Do I look focused? I don't look focused. To be unfocused, this is a practice you have to do. Say you are walking in the street, you know, and the two people are coming. You don't recognize who they are. If you recognize, you know, you don't recognize. There's a practice like that. Because when you recognize, either you get a greedy feeling, you admire something, or something that, then what brain works? The animal brain. So these practices are important, and food is the second one. You don't taste the food. There are things, you know, like there are ways of eating that. But anyway, I will tell you what happened to me when I was passing in a restaurant in Sri Lanka. I was passing a restaurant from my monastery. Normally I go for walking meditation to one hall near the monastery where I'm staying. So when I pass the restaurant, normally it's a marine drive and lot of vehicles, and the fumes are coming from the vehicles. So I keep my mouth closed, so I breathe through the nose, so it gets strained and go. Otherwise I will get a bad health, you know. So one day when I was going through the restaurant, the smell of the food was coming. Now we have learnt a practice to block any feeling, that we are trained for a long time. So somebody tell me, Bhante, we normally smell this thing and we reflect the anitya, impermanent and like that. I see them as who have been shot. They are not fast enough to do this yet. They are not trained that much. So what happens? Now that time when the smell was about to come, I start to breathe through my mouth, because the carbon dioxide is better than this, which activates desire. But the problem was, I don't know who that chef is. The smell goes from my mouth and it was touching my nose, you know. So I decide not to breathe, you know. Yeah, because we know suddenly we don't allow that. We have to be fast enough. We don't now. We stop breathing now, because when you inhale only, it goes and touches, and the consciousness comes in the nose, right? So I stop breathing to that moment, and what happens then? Then you are blocking the animal brain working, right? If I allow the smell, because normally food, what is the attraction? First it is starting from the smell of the food and the picture. That's why they display all these pictures. I wish they picture what happens to it next day morning, you know, the toilet, tick, tick, photographs, and put them there, right? And that is the real picture. Okay, I mean, I see sometimes in restaurants, you know, they picture the food also, right? It's funny, you know, it's we are sensually so deluded. I mean, we take pictures, how this, I don't know, fish or what, I don't know, this, shh, like this, it's something happening. In Nepal, when they took me for dana, I see this, I don't know what some food, you know, they bring it like, it's already like, I don't know what is happening in that. Shh, going, you know, like maybe they put little alcohol or something. I asked somebody, I don't know what that dish is called. Anyway, but I can see them photograph, you know. I'm thinking, my goodness, I wish they took the photograph next day morning. So my friend, look at food. Food, it is the picture of the food, but you can take what is in the next day morning and put spices, okay, and then make it again, right? So it's the same thing. Better not take it from the stomach, you better put it directly to the toilet. This you can do. Now look, food is like that. Other one is women and men. What is it? Scent and the look of your kit. How you dress. As for women, it's the shape. Okay, I'm telling exactly the thing, how the perception it looks for. I mean, one day I remember I was talking to one lady who had a very nice figure, but she was having so much problems. She was having so much sufferings, so many operations actually, complicated. And they have been operating this, that, and then she was telling me all these problems. And there was another gentleman who I know, and he was like, you know, he doesn't know what is the conversation that's going on. He's passing there. He didn't see me even. He was so engrossed with the lady. You know? He was like, shh. I saw his eyes so glued. And he's just going, and he didn't know the Bhante was here. What happened? Because the animal brain is working, and all your judgment, all that fails. So my friend, just imagine this perception, it's the shape and the scent. Now even we were walking in a park because now these people, they're so nice, the organizer, they know I like nature. This is my entertainment, not coming to Melbourne city. This is the opposite thing they want to have. In the itinerary they had like that, but now it's all changed. They take me to, you know, what's that place? Warburton. Warburton. Warburton, right? It's wonderful, old forest, wonderful. I really enjoy that because it gives me this like fish in the water, you know. It gives me where I got certain knowledge, and in silence, in when I go for walks and contemplating, then only these sparks of awakening come. Never in these buildings, never, or with a lot of people. So my friend, where was this? I was going to tell you. Do you know where it stops? Sorry? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was in one park. When I was in this park, this was in Sydney, I think. And they parked me, I was going, you know, in that walk and all that. Suddenly, there were two of them behind me. This was in Brisbane. Two of them, two who were helping me. They also, whoever comes with me, I see they're ex-monks, you know. That's because I avoid people. I can't walk with two people. This is how I used to move. But I see if they are now together, I feel they are ex-monks. So I want to teach them something. Suddenly, we were going and two ladies passed by. And suddenly, you know, something happened. I do a sober practice. They have learned this for long years. Then I want to teach them something. I turn back and ask them, did you notice anything? I asked them, how did you breathe just now? Then, yeah, we breathed, okay, Bante. And then I said, did you notice anything? Yeah, there was some smell. I said, you noticed that? Then there's this practice I didn't notice. Sooner it comes, you learn to block it. You learn to catch it. Because when you don't get the smell immediately, you can know the reality of it. You know it's a piece of flesh and you know deeply the truth. But when the smell comes, you get fantasies. You understand? You get all the illusions forming. Because your animal brain is working and your thinking, analyzing part it's very logical. So these are practices we have to, these are told in the text. If I will recommend to you Word of the Buddha by Gnanaloka Thero. This is your really guide. You must take them as your, if you rely on a monk only, we don't know how far I have realized what my attainments. The master is there alive. So you must rely on the original text. You must read those books. Word of the Buddha I recommend by Gnanaloka, Dhammaratha by Dhammaratha Thero. There's few books like that. And Middle Length Discourses by Bhikkhu Bodhi. Now, it doesn't mean you have to read all that. Just few, maybe one verse might trigger your enlightenment. But nice to go through that and get the wisdom of the master in your system. You will be fulfilled. You may fail in your family life, you may fail in your career, but don't fail this towards enlightenment, awakening of self-realization. This I always tell. So, I think I covered everything. I want to go further. Now I told you about the text, try to read these original words of the Buddha. Don't rely on monks recording. You listen to them also. But make sure you independently keep near your bedside and go through it. Have a direct contact. So there are 4 factors they say to attain Nibbana. In the original text it says, Satpurusha Sansevo, Saddhamma Savana, Yoniso Manasikara, Dhammanu Dhammapatipatya. Satpurusha Sansevo means an enlightened person you must associate. At least he has glimpsed liberation. And this, when you meet such a person, you'll be hearing his talks, So when you reflect what he says, that reflection is called Yoniso Manasikara, deep reflection. That is intuitive. You try to sort of bring the original, awaken that way of contemplating, not just bringing a memory thing to it. You learn to quietly not to think and think. So this is Yoniso Manasikara. Dhammanu Dhammapatipatya is correcting your general lifestyle. So what I told you, some of the things you try to overcome and restrain and all this connected with that. You are now trying to live according to Dhamma. Now when you are doing, but to see enlightened person, you think I am enlightened? What do you think? Do you think? You can tell me, honestly. You are a little nervous, you're like a quiet type. Sorry? You don't know? But why not? My little bit shining here. Okay? Maybe film stars also have that shine, right? Huh? Okay, probably. And you don't know, or you think you can know? Yeah. The enlightenment is something that happens in your mind, right? Inside your mind. So at least you should be able to read the mind, see the mind. And not only just see the mind, you should be able to recognize that particular insight that is taking place in an enlightened mind. So to that kind of two things, when we can't do, we can't surely tell. We can't. So, but we know the old text, it's coming from a enlightened person. So that is for sure. And who is sincere will direct you to that. Otherwise, he will tell to follow him, and it's a bondage, a spiritual bondage. It will make you independent to see, where the real truth. But also you must learn to practice it, not just reading and having knowledge. You must read and meditate together. Then only, because it's very practical, the Buddha's teaching. It is purely for going to an experience. He's not come to tickle your brain, He's a lot of compassion that wisdom is coming. He wants to remove you from all the sufferings. It's important. So this I recommend you must go through if you have. And if you're in other religion, I don't recommend you to. It's up to you. I'm not forcing. You can. I would say the New Testament, and there are Jesus where he says, you remove your eye. It's very interesting. It's better that you be thrown into fire. I mean, in hell, better to remove the eye than being distracted by seeing. Now I understand, according to what I have learned and studied and practiced. Because when you are having, your eyes are not controlled, you have a lustful thought from that. Your reptilian brain is working. You die at that time. Where will you go, heaven or hell? I mean, do you have lustful thoughts in heaven? Real heaven might not have such things, So really, Buddha also explains this. He tells that rebirth will be either animal, that is the hell worlds, or the lower worlds, if you have this thought. So anyone like to die while they are watching soap opera? Maybe soap operas you have? I don't know. Kopi Kade in Sri Lanka those days. And soap opera, or I don't know what you have here. Let me see. Let me think. Even sports, I was so addicted to cricket. Do you know? If I left anything, it was cricket to become a monk. I didn't leave a girlfriend or anyone because I was never going to keep contacts. Even those days, just going. I was interested, but I was too interested in the enlightened path. So ladies, you have to, sort of be with them a lot. So nowhere there was, but cricket, it was a big attachment. I really sacrificed that. When I come here, if nobody was around, I wish to play with somebody still, bowling and because it's a nice game. But these are all at a very low level of, mind. So it's excitement and so on. So now I go, we try to do this meditation. Now when I say meditation, all of you become kind of, get ready specially. Were you not in meditation all this time? Now my friend, we have not learned to do that. Now if I was not in meditation, I feel tired talking to you all, talking. This is my activities. But I have put my mind into a certain mental state. That cool part is awakened. Even when you are listening, you will get a small high because that energy, something going from the voice, but I'm in that state of certain energy. So I can go on till morning. I know you all can't do that. I can go on if I want till morning, and tomorrow also I can go on. You will be surprised about it, if that ever can be done. So, but there is some power, some energy where you learn to create energy, this thing. So, now we were driving, he's not here. So now some of my friends, here who are helping me, they asked me, Bante, how to do the meditation while you're doing the work. So now he was driving while he was asking this. So I want to teach him immediately. So I made him calm, I gave him a sort of instant a bit to relax and calm. I just held his forehead while he was driving. So luckily no policeman was looking, otherwise they might see some hijack or something. But anyway, I was holding like this, and then I tell, just relax your body, just feel comfortable with the, now I'm telling him what I told him, right? The seat, and just focus, only take the information of the others will get an accident, just the information, and just relax. Find that where you're relaxing the body. Check yourself. And when I said and did that, his hands were like this stiff, and it became like that. Just a reminder. So we are not doing this very much, we must, when you are walking fast, we must wonder why. So before, now then he got some idea of how to relax. It's a subtle thing. So before that, my trip was like going in a safari, like this, like that. So I was not quietly waiting. I didn't want to complain, it's okay. But it was very this thing. But after this, it was a smooth journey. So my friend, whatever peace you are experiencing, it should be felt by others. It will be felt. So all the stress and getting angry with people all happen when you are in a kind of a disturbed state. And so when this is very important. While you are doing the work, you must master this. While you are riding, sweeping, washing your clothes, try to find the restful posture first and do the things in a way that you don't feel tired. Mentally, you learn to open that cool part. Not that you're having, I told you in the beginning that you have a lot of work and you can't do. You have not opened that cool part. I hope in this program that parts will be open. When you come like this is the opportunity. That brain areas will start to function. And so I will go into this. Anyone in great? I'm seeing some long faces still. Let me see. I had to diffuse that. You should never feel. Do you know everything happens to your good? Do you know this story? You know all, no? Yeah. And okay, I will tell you about this. Okay, these small points you must know. In failures, if you have failed in something, there was this surgeon in Bangalore. This surgeon, he because before meditation, my friend, you must know that everything has happened to your good, You must be convinced with that. Otherwise you think, where am I? What? This is also kind of meditation. Because you are kind of pondering in the past. And so, one surgeon in Bangalore, he was well known for separating the appendicitis in the operation. That's one nerve which get cut and people used to die. Do you know his name? I don't know. So, some Verma or something, I don't know. This is an Indian name, I know, but so it was named after him, that technique to separate. So he's a person who has failed MBBS 3 times. And 4th time, I think they stay for 1 year, you can't, then they have to do, and he passed, of course. So who has failed 3 times, the MBBS. So just imagine, yeah, that's true, because if you pass immediately, you pass by some hook or crook, some luck, then you don't really master the subject. So if you fail in life, I mean, everything is good in life, you are not going to get, you're not going to really master life. But if you have failures, my friend, it's going to create genius out of you. It's going to awakening things you would have never done if you had all things happening, and it will be too late when you die. Better you have certain things. So this is very important to know. And so failures are things that make you greatness. I mean, I have faced a lot of these things, so when I don't think it's an easy way. As I told you, altitude sickness, but I realize when failures, difficulties come, there's something very close by. Certain gems are going to come in your life. You will know the karmic terrain, and you will enjoy the failures that time, that something going to. It's correct, 2015, like this, 2016. If I stopped thinking, my God, if I actually would have disrobed the things I faced. Other thing, it's not an ordinary thing, like the demon directly attacked me. One was altitude sickness. And immediately when I recovered, something else happened. I can't tell you all that, I can only tell the senior monks about it. But something made me survive. It's wisdom. What did I say? When that happened in the situation that I had to face, I gave this English word which is not a proper English word. I told to myself, you should not egolize the situation. It's not a right English word. But it conveys the intensity. Normally it is like you should not personalize it, okay? Because your ego is the one that the demon really enters through. Something happened to me and somebody did something to me, like these negative thoughts. So that made me understand that you must not ego. It's just a happening, just some phenomena, and continue. So these things happen to all great people when they are on the path. With the Buddha and all the enlightened masters. Even Jesus, the demon came, the temptations and so on. Satan and all that. Satan. So then what happened, the reason they became great was they continued. If there, most of us fail because we get hold, that gets hold of us, and then we stop. We are so close to the goal. So somebody reminds us, just don't take care, continue, we would reach this experience. So 2016 I went again to Kailash, and I had some special experiences. So this I personally experienced, my friends, so many, not only this, 2011, before any kind of peak experience in my life, so much trouble, so much difficulties. But I learned lessons, and that, just continue and then reach the goal. So very important. Other thing is, if you have a problem, now, even if you're having a problem now, do you have it now? It's a way of your thinking. You think wrongly, you will feel the problem doubled. Now, people like serial killers, Buddha's time, Angulimala. He's a serial killer, He killed so many people. Say he didn't become enlightened, what happened? He would have been in such a depression, regretting, in remorse and so on. But no redemption for him, actually. But look, he met for few minutes the enlightened master, and not only he became fully enlightened. Just he meet somebody and think correctly and properly, and then realize that there's no real, this is an illusion. So, but when you think like this, you should not repeat those wrongs also. But you should not worry about what you have done already. They are gone. They are no more. But then you think wrong. Your small mistake you do, you think wrongly, it can take you hell. You think you're a great sinner and all that, and no. That thinking will take you to hell. But you have done great mistakes, big mistakes, gone to nightclubs, done this, done that. But you can recover, my friend, if you have the right thinking. Remember this. This is a matter of how you think enlightened. You will make gems out of the situation. If you don't meet enlightened things, you will make hell out of a small thing. All right. These points keep in mind. And the other thing is, now when you come to this place, you may have any kind of crisis. But I have no time to give my personal experiences, because I'm just giving you the points. But I want to support it through my own personal experiences. But you think that I have gone through certain experience and demonstrated this, but I can't tell this. It's a big story then, okay? But I will tell you the point. If you have any problem, you think. Now in the airport, I met one gentleman. He was, he has come from Sri Lanka. He had this, he wanted to help me in, this place, Singapore airport. So he was in a depressed state. I noticed that. So I was telling, because he has gone home. His mother has died 2 months back, and then he has done all the the duties, and then he's coming back. He finds some more complications, like his sister has taken over the ancestral house, and he think it is the brother-in-law who is behind it. So he never expected that, or all these things, manipulations, and he's so innocent. I know he's innocent, and he's having all these problems. He doesn't know why. He's confused, in a depressed state. Then I said, no, if you know the whole thing, you will not worry about it. Your lack of knowledge only you make you're worried and all that. So I told him, you have learned to think in a way that makes you suffer. You have not learned to think the way that it will not make you suffer. This you have not been trained. So I found he was getting some idea, but still not, he was. Then I immediately asked, can you see me? He said, yes, Bhante, I can see you. So I said, this is all what is real for you now. All what has happened is gone. And what might come is not really existing. Now what you are seeing is real. This is only in your thought, in your mind. And you feel the pressure in your leg. You notice that. And you just watch and notice what you are immediately seeing. And when you come to the present moment, you'll find these things are just thoughts. And when I told him like that, and I like this, like a animal, dog look into a well. He sees his own reflection. He thinks there's another dog inside, right? He comes out, he's barking. But really there's nobody there. The same way consciousness. When you are not, even now immediately, this consciousness has changed to another. So when you learn to see the reality that's happening like that, you will not be affected by all these thoughts of the past and so on. So when I told like this, I said, Bhante, I'm getting some peace now. So this is important. You have to use these techniques, remind yourself and so on, okay? And do you think the world is outside or inside here? Inside. How can you prove it? Okay, I'll quickly do it, okay? You keep your eyes open and keep the finger behind below your eyeball. You may be seeing me or this back here. you look at something there and just shake from below. While looking. Shake your eyeball from below. Okay, while looking at. How do you see? You see shaking, right? So where is it? Is it in the eyeball? Yes. The consciousness comes related to the body as a base. So it's actually here. So that's why normally we get so focused. That's why for meditation you start to observe the base of consciousness. That is the. So I'm giving you some ideas later on for your meditation. Okay, I didn't continue that. In the restaurant, okay? So you see how am I talking? Going from one. The restaurant, I passed the restaurant, then what happened? When you don't take the smell and the picture of the food, what happened? I didn't breathe, from my mouth. And when I went, now that food depends, now you have an attraction to the food, the illusion. So if you think there's some real nice food there, not the toilet thing, what happened? You will, maybe you don't have money even, you will go and borrow some money, and like that you will do it. So now these advertisements, you must be careful. I heard everybody here is on loan or something, right? Is it? Really, I got a different picture. Now this is another fact, my friend. If you have loans to pay, you can't meditate. Do you know this? Yeah. Now I'm thinking, real. These are in the scriptures. It all gives the exact points how the psychology works, the mind works. You must be free from. Now if you have to pay loans and mortgage and things like that, don't meditate now. Forget about it. Finish the mortgage, finish the loan, and then start. You understand? Yeah, really. Because that is you are having a gross problem. But in this society, it's a big problem, right? All good cars, good houses, but they're running to pay it, right? I feel so sad also in a way. But it's okay. But better thing, you take a small loan which you can pay in 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, okay? And have mental peace and progress internally. All these things while I'm going, I'm getting from my friends, what is really going on. Because I thinking this, oh my God, they're all having good cars, but that is got bought by some loan or something. And they're praying, they're working day and night, right? Night job, day job. Even now, I don't know how you manage to make time. You might be having a night job somewhere, right? So it's okay. Young time, good, you get that away from that laziness. That practice is very good. But one day, remember, you're not just going to exist only, you must become enlightened. So, but daily you can put this meditation also, but don't worry, reduce your loans. But you can do your practice daily, start it, don't worry. You can do the relaxing thing and I will teach you a meditation. So anyway, that will help you to do your practice, get some mental peace also. Other thing, parents also, and don't disturb your girlfriends and wives and husbands the other way. These things all will going to affect your mental peace. These are basic things, my friend. You cannot just do other relaxation and all that doing. These are certain techniques to know. When you do like that, and when I passed the restaurant, what happened? When I didn't take the smell, the animal brain is not working, the thinking brain is working. Now this depends on illusion. Now I have the urge. You don't cut that feeling, and you must. Now there's a saying, something far. They call it in Sri Lanka, but I call it here. Now far it is pepper. Okay, near is apple. In Australia, okay, because pepper is expensive. I heard here. All right. And in Sri Lanka, pepper is cheap subject. So I had to turn it to Australian translation. So really, anything looking far, you have fantasies and illusions, my friend. Everything, your girlfriend, your wife, only after few days after honeymoon, my teacher used to tell me, then only the dark side of the moon comes. Okay, so this is all true reality. But who have wisdom, they manage to hold on, and not create. They realize this is it. If I find another wife, same thing. So when they have that and they learn to face duty, not run away like an animal to another thing and turn. Anyway, that's another topic. So anyway, my friends, this anything you look until you break the illusion, you get the attachment. So you must face the illusion and break it. So when I pass that shop, the restaurant, I go back to that particular experience. How? Now I am not I start to breathe, okay, after I pass the restaurant. This I did. Then I go back, I bring the food. What is it? Then I see what happens in my mouth if I brought it and eat. When I was eating it, when the touch of that food parts touch the tongue consciousness takes place. And until it is touching, the consciousness comes. You may call it chocolate or whatever, but in the mental factors will arise in the moment of consciousness. But when it is broken and you have to put another piece, when it's touching, you are getting. You see the conditioned nature of this experience, and you find that feeling you got was a conditioned thing. And if you don't watch like that, you will see this is I am feeling. But you know this is a transient I. This is not a solid real I. It's no I, it's an idea in the mind. You will notice these things. When you're seeing also muck, you're munching with saliva and all that. You don't see, normally we imagine the picture of the food, right? Rarely we want to eat in a toilet, right? I did it, but okay, because I had no time in the restaurant, in the airport. Okay, I put the seat, and the time was passing. Anyway, that was a good practice. So this, just imagine when you look like that, you see the illusion. It's a muck, and what is really going on inside your mouth. You'll be able to observe this when you didn't take the smell, and when you didn't take the picture of the food. So these two, when you block, your special brain will start to work properly. And then that is the one that makes you satipatthana, the ancient text of having sati, that works properly. And then you get wisdom, the sati that brings wisdom, that see the reality of things, you can practice. You're coming, that is more real, right? What happens in your mouth is real, but is repulsive. But then you don't feel attracted to the food. So then you don't feel the urge gets subdued. You don't feel something that you're missing, right? So now, in any case, even for ladies, when you pass away, or men, when you pass away, you can think. Maybe there are channels in that YouTube, they catch people going with another boyfriend, another girlfriend, right? Okay, they catch cheaters or something. Okay, and there is that. These are also nice to watch. Then you will. You want to meditate and also to forgive if some mistake happen in your wife, or to understand this is the nature. Wife or husband, okay, I'm sorry, both, okay, and this is nice to have more wisdom and understanding of human nature and surroundings around you. Okay, we go for the meditation now. I'm getting 3 hours here. We will do this, okay? Very nice, all of you. Now we will taste some. Okay, I wish you sit comfortably, where if you can stretch your legs also, where you don't think about your body. So I gave you some techniques, Now tasting the food, if you don't, if you can comfortably sit, if you can stand up and get up, if your legs are, you must get the comfortable posture in a way that you don't fall asleep. You can even lean. But some of your standing is okay. I want one guinea pig for me. I will demonstrate something. You have to watch this, right? To give you an idea of relaxing your body. I think he might be a good. Please come. You can, yeah. You have to sit here on the ground, and but you have to face there and lean. Relax the body, right? Don't worry. This is a perception. All these people you are seeing, right? Now I got used to no fear of people. So just take it as a perception. Relax the body. All right, and find the posture comfortable. If you can stretch your leg, is comfortable. Do that. And just learn to lean, and like you're sitting in front of a beach, okay, or a river flowing, just relaxing with your friends, and you don't care about anything in the world. Just get that mental state in your mind. And when you're like that, other thing is, like when you fall asleep, you forget about the surrounding, okay? You are now, you can just try to think like you want to sleep, okay? And forget about the surrounding and don't care. And you can take a deep breath and feel relaxed. Because sometimes we have to consciously do it. Okay? This also you can do. This one technique I will tell you also. Don't close your eyes. I'm just showing you something. Just tighten your body. And then relax. Yeah. You get an idea. When you think of tension, then you know about releasing. I will do something. Don't pay attention to what I'm doing. Just think like a doctor examining you. And just pay attention to relaxing only, and no paying attention to anything, all right? Now you're paying attention, right? pay attention, don't look even. Just pay attention to relax and forget about the surrounding and all that. You can take a deep breath and let go. Just feel the nice comfortable feeling of letting go. Don't care about anybody, like. Just be in that mind. Just watch your mind releasing all these tensions around you. Good. You're relaxing. Very good. Can do more. Take a deep breath. Take all the tensions away. And in the heaviness on the seat, just release. Just be relaxed. Let me relax completely. Okay, you can sit down. Alright? So you have to consciously command yourself and lose the tension. These basic things. But you don't do, you go with tightness. How can you do anything? So one tightness is paying your loans, okay? That you have to do, definitely. It will work in your mind. You're working from a very obstructive, but these are some ideas you're giving. Before you die, I hope you will get the points and you reach something. So better eat bread and butter and have peace of mind. Otherwise, they say like vultures, they fly high but eat carcasses, right? I'm sorry. I want to send this point because I love you all so much, and meeting you all, you must reach something. And okay. Other thing is, just relax, all right? And I will be doing something. We will do this. This will be nice for the younger ones. You'll be surprised also. Okay. So this is like a small walking meditation using your hands, right? Wait a minute. I might knock this. Just take your hands like this, all right? Okay. Like this. Just. Oh, these young ones are superb, Release all your tension from it. You can try. Like, What about who are standing? Just shake tight. Okay, you can try also. Standing, you can at least try. Just try. You can try from the back, so you get some idea, and later when you go, you even now if you had some, not like just like vigorously, Some of you are not doing. You're shy. I'm not shy, and I should be shy. You will master it. You will get some idea, not just tighten. You will get the nice. My organizers are okay. Okay, that's enough. Now relax. Okay, now relax. This is new to some of the. Oh, some are meditating. No, I'm giving you the preliminaries for meditation. Don't do meditation now. Now relax. Okay. You feel something nice? No sleepy, nothing, right? If you properly did it, you will feel it. Now, I wish you sit in a comfortable way. You're not thinking of the body. Now, some practice I did in the jungle and also in the altitude time when I'm facing death. I'm going to do that a little bit, so you get some taste of it. Am I getting Australian accent? I don't know. I hope not. No, I like it now. In those days, no. American and Australian accent in South Africa, it's like I don't like it much, but now I like it there. So it's so nice. It looks. It has like it's like music, Australia, right? Is it? It's not plain. It's not boring. Beautiful language. Okay. So relax. And you feel light, my friend. You must experience this lightness and peace of mind. It's a great feeling. You feel satisfied. Now when you are like this, now I'll be doing this, alright? So when you read one day the old text, you must learn to apply it. What Buddha says, you must look at yourself through that. I'm going to do it in a very short form. Okay? He tells in Pali, body monks, rupam bhikkhave nityang va anityang vati. Is body permanent or impermanent? So you must reflect. Before that, when you relax, just like watch your body from outside, how you are seated. Don't think too much. Just see your posture, how you are seated or how you are standing. Just imagine yourself wearing a t-shirt or whatever you're wearing, how you're dressed up. Your body is dressed up by certain cloth. I am wearing a robe. I can picture myself talking, my mouth is moving, my hands are raised up. Relaxingly watch that. Then after that, when you watch this, then the Buddhas, I'm going to do another contemplation for you all. Aharan sambudhan kayo. Now Buddha is like a scientist looking for the cause of your body. How does the body arise? Aharan sambudhan kayo. Body is conditioned by food. Without food, will you get a body anytime? Never. So, aharang anityam dukkham anatta. Food, do you have any food that you ate, say last time dinner, lunch, which did not finish? It's finished. It's almost maybe in your stomach and in the toilet also, some of it. So you must picture what happened to food. Anityam bhante, to answer him. It's not from some memory, you must just have some reality idea and look at the realities and get this idea. Doesn't matter, let the baby make a sound, it's alright. This also you must know, if you attach to listening to me, that will be a disturbance. Check where you are going fault, not the objects around you. This is also another training. Remember, always you have worry or disturbance because of your attachment to even Dhamma, anything. And you remove that fault you are making and you will have peace there. So, this body, see when you look, any food, rupa, every food has finished and changed. You must think even the food you ate this lunchtime, how you took to your mouth and is finished. So you answer the Buddha, anityam bhante, it is impermanent. Food is impermanent. Aharang anityam, if it is impermanent, it is suffering. If it is suffering, can you call it is me, is myself? No. Then what comes from food? The body. Also, kayang anityam is impermanent. It can't be permanent because it's supported by food, which is impermanent. The body is impermanent, suffering, not myself. Eva metang yatha bhutang. Not only that, any state of consciousness comes from body. You can't have consciousness without a body. Every experience through the eyes, ears, nose, tongue and thinking, everything. So all experiences also is impermanent due to the impermanence of the body, impermanence of the food, and all experiences, sabbe sankhara aniccham dukkham anattam. All conditioned phenomena is impermanent, suffering. Now when you think like this, your mind should be in a way to detach. If this is not a place you're coming now like a nightclub where you're looking for some attraction or attachments. This is a place you're trying to find happiness through detachment, letting go, releasing yourself. So with that kind of mind, when you picture these things, you'll find you will be letting go any knots in your mind. Aharan sambudhan karo, aharang anityam dukkha anatta. Food is impermanent, suffering, not yourself. Kayang anityam dukkha anatta. Body is impermanent, suffering, not yourself. Sabba sankhara aniccham. All experiences, formations are impermanent. You must think, even if meditation you do, any sense experience you have, it is all impermanent. You will let go your mind from any expectation. Sabba sankhara aniccham. dukkhaṃ anattaṃ. Evam passam yatā bhūtaṃ. When you see this with meditation, if you see it more with your mind's eye, you will feel detached. Nibbindati. Virachyati. Your mind will turn away. Nibbananti. You will come to Nibbana, close to Nibbana. Complete dispassionate state. How peaceful it is. Etang santam. Etam panitam. Sabba sankara samato. All this come into a stillness. Patisago. Tannakkayo. All craving fading away from your mind. Virago, dispassionate. Nibbananti. Sankhara parama dukkha. Nibbanam paramang sukham. Think how peaceful you'll be, how blissful you'll be when you can really absorb this properly. You will be free from lust, greed and hate. Now you change to another meditation with this feeling. You wish for all these people in this room. May they get this peacefulness, this happiness. They are all searching for happiness. All who are in this building, you picture yourself like from outside. And this area in Victoria or whatever, I don't know, this state, Melbourne, like you're going in a helicopter. People are in their houses. They are there. You send your thoughts. May they experience this peace and enlightenment. They are all same body, same makeup, and even other states, all over Australia, then Sri Lanka, and the villages, and then India, different states, so much human beings in India, then Tibet, Nepal, China, Russia, then you come to Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, Iraq, Middle East, Mediterranean, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, and again Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Taiwan, entire humanity in the earth. May they be free from suffering. May they come to inner peace, liberation. Picture them like your children there, like you're looking from space. You can see the blue ocean and human beings in the planet. They are like ants. May they all come to this happiness and peace of mind. Not only human beings, the animal plane, the other demons and all these negative forces, and other hell beings, Vetarani Paduma Avicchya, may they get a human birth and come to this inner peace. Not only them, the angels, the divine abodes, Chatumaharajika Tavatimsa Tusitayama, all the higher planes who have done good deeds and risen, and to the highest, even other who have meditated and gone to higher planes, Brahmaloka, they have no greed, no hate, but they have the sense of I, that heaviness. May that also disappear from them. From the highest to the lowest, may all realms, may they be at peace and come to liberation. Picture them like you're from space, you're looking at them, and keep picturing and wishing them. And relax the body and have this beautiful thought so that you relax all your tensions and positive thoughts. If you can't immediately do it, I know it's too much work, but you will try it, you will get something now. You will not be coming to this hall if you can't get anything. You have some destiny, some karma. And I'm going to give some blessings. We can go on. Some of them are quite absorbed with it, but only thing we have little time. I didn't ask whether you want to know any question, no? Would you like to ask any question from me? So before I give my last blessings, that will have a samadhi also in it. But any question anyone want to ask quickly? Today is my last night here in Melbourne, in Australia. Yes, Mali? You already have the mic? That means you're ready with the question. Sorry.
Hello,
I want a spontaneous one, okay?
Test. Hi, Bhante. So this is a question that a few of my friends came up with as well. It's about karma. So who determines whether or not a person has done something to merit either good or bad karma? If this decision is made at the end of one's life, who is actually making the decision? Often one person may say that something you did was good, but another says it was bad. A mass murderer may even believe within himself that what he is doing is the right thing. Who is the final judge of karma? And how do we really know if what we are doing is good or bad?
Okay. You know, I'm used to not having questions. My mind is in a blank. I only heard your voice. Okay, sorry for that. I'm in a gufa, cave, and I'm coming, and I have to get used to. You can repeat it again. It's like this, okay? I will tell you, like, how do you know whether this is really bad karma, good karma, right? Whether it's karma, what is karma?
Yeah, more like how do you know if what you are doing is good or bad? Because to one person it may seem like what you're
it's
doing.
a relative thing, you think.
Relative thing, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You can know very easily. When you are doing very bad karma, or you can know how much you have a long face and okay, I will give you some very clear tips also. If you blink a lot, you can, from the amount you blink your eyes, you can also know the type of karma, levels of karma you are doing. But there are two people who don't blink very much. One is the divine beings, or who are meditating, or who have got certain this thing, or the ones who what is this? So these are physical, physical things. But I will tell you. It's all connected with remorse and regret. I'm not getting this thing. Wait, I will come to your. You talk about serial killers also, right? Because other thing, when you are doing sin, okay, I will tell you. Some of the sin you become so used to, the mind gets numb. Okay, now even who are in the army, who are like even fishing. Okay, it's bad. You're harming somebody, but you get okay. The society is agreeing about that. No problem. It gives you this thing, but then your mind gets numb. Some like the fishermen, they maybe after some time they're doing it so much, then that part of sensitivity goes away. That's also dangerous. You're numb for sin, like sin, you don't see it as sin, and the repercussions I will tell you. Moment of death, if many people who visit the people when they are dying, there are occasions where some of them, they will be looking for the keys, the bank account, and some of them have told the near death feelings. One person I remember, he said that he was feeling he's going through a tunnel. Now he was taking ganja and going with ladies, and also he had a spiritual part, but he had these things. Teruvan Saranai, just 1 minute. Who are going, just stand near the door. I will just bless you short one, okay? I know you have to go. 1 minute. Relax your body. I'm just going to give you quickly before you go. Wait. I will explain that. Teruvan Saranai Putta. You get all the strength. Haapu Saktiya labeva. Thiru prashna duru vela. Haapu gamana. Wahansage Gurudevan Mahathirage. Ashirvade chitta bali labena. Sopatte va. Takembeda. Perpi matuveva. Okay. Teruvan Saranai. Try not to talk today. In the morning you can talk. Take dinner after I give you something. Just try not to talk today. Okay, it will be in your brain whole night, I hope. So this person, he, the moment of death, he had a near-death experience actually. Like he felt he was going, he was going through a tunnel-like thing, and he heard somebody telling, not this one, the other one. And then he felt back, he's coming back to the body. And he could what is this? He heard from the other end somebody saying, oh God, like this, or Christ, like that, something, He was screaming like that. So these are also, if you record properly, how we can relate how he stayed. He's living still. He had a heart attack when I visited him recently. I don't know what happened to him now, but he was doing this kind of activity. It's interesting to know people who have been doing these things. If somebody watched them when they are dying, how they had really reacted. But there are some people, suddenly they could be, it's not something, but in the majority cases you would know like that. And the other one is, you should feel that inner tranquility. You may be doing all this normal work, but if you can remain still and have certain, I call this happiness without a reason. It's like a mad happiness, but this is because of purity inside you. If you damage that purity, then that means you can know whether it's sin or, this thing. When you find that you don't have that laugh or look without a reason of happiness, like there's no reason, nothing is happening, but you're happy, like. You understand? And the people around you also, it makes them light-hearted and cool. So if you can do this with sin, if a serial murderer come and all this, and then you get that effect, maybe I'll join him, I remove these ropes and I learn something from him. So this other thing, and you can look at your face also, after the internet, spending long hours, whether it's sin or good or what, that how you look. Now after this you can take a photograph. Maybe you can show it to your girlfriend, because this must be the best photograph you can take. Calm down, energy pumped into your body. And but the thing is, the people around you who have negative energies, they see the world through that. Sometimes they think that same things are happening. This is another story if I explain what you inside you, how you perceive outside. And so sometimes they will see you are having the same. Your shine might look like for them they are having too much greed or addiction, because they are seeing everything through that mind. Like the glasses they wear, if it's green, everything is green. If it is blue, so you can't get a correct judgment from people around you. But you can know you're happy for no reason. You're content. You're on the right direction. Other thing is, you don't feel tight, you don't feel tired. If you feel doing something is tired, you're in the sin path, in that direction, negative way. You feel energized and you feel so much, no remorse, you don't remember something. Oh, that's another important point. Now when you do something, now people ask me, Bante, do you remember your parents? I say, yes, when you're talking now, I remember like that. So if you have done your duties properly and you have not disturbed anyone, no thoughts will come. If you have spent some time in nightclub or some other thing, you have to be in solitude to know also. Now in the death moment, I'm giving this mechanism, death moment, you are like going to solitude, you are in pain or whatever, you go into the inside mind. There you will get the core. If you have some sin or good action, that comes up as an object of thought in the last moment. This you can know when you go to solitude, where you don't have these, distractions from the cities and things like that. Suddenly thoughts coming about some things you did in the past. If it is coming very often, definitely that is a sin. Now, this personally, I have no time to explain to you. So this process of meditating in jungle or quiet or keeping solitude is a process of cleansing your sins. That is how you allow those inner thoughts to come. And you can know, it will just start to come. I was so surprised. I'm telling about like 2015, I had this experience. Actually, now when you say some difficulty comes, that is by past karma also. Some sin you have done, it makes you have that environment and you are tempted to sin. And this, due to certain rules, I will be protected, but still I will be committing some sin while that karma is going through. So that happened to me, and when I was in jungle later, I found suddenly, I thought these thoughts, I don't have these memories. Suddenly these thoughts were coming. I counted 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. Then only they faded away. So that's why if you don't go for meditation retreats and all that, you will never know. But it will be too late if you know when you're dying. You understand? So you don't have these memories about. Now if you have memories about something, that means you have got attached. From attachment you create karma also. And if you get memories of something because you got angry with somebody, or you know interacted in a negative way, that also you get memories. Suddenly you're there and you remember those people. They're haunting your mind. So if that is happening, there is some bad karma you have done. There are levels of it. So you should be free from memories. Then you know you are at a right standard of, mental, right way you have dealt with all these things. Understand? I hope I am not sure, because my mind is not, focused in, I hope next, because I had to polish my certain part of my brain. It's not working in that present moment. Other ways, a serial killer and all these people, they will, they can be transformed. I told you that one Angulibala, if they get the right Dhamma, they can be completely transformed to tranquil people and realized souls. If there's a master or some master's words, get in touch with them. So they can be redeemed, that nobody's redeemable, or whatever, this English word, I don't know whether it's correct, but is possible. So that is there. But in society now, it creates a but definitely certain basic rules, like even vegetarian. In India, if you take non-veg, it's like you create a murder, like you can't progress anything. No, there are other things, like I tell in India, that chutney is more damaging than, non-veg, because the tasting. And it's true, you can see, when you are getting to concentration power, that you can know. If you are meditating all the time, your sila is good. You're really on the right way of conduct. But if you can't meditate, there's something wrong with that means you can't stay still. You need to do something. There are addictions, you will know. And you can stay in your room without feeling, boring and all that. Your mind is in good health. So, I hope I answer something. Maybe later you meet me, you can ask me. Any other question? There are a lot of questions. Only one question. Who? You asked? Or somebody asked for?
It was just something a few of my friends helped me to. They
so
also had the same
tell
question.
the question again. Let me see whether I answered.
I think you did.
But let me think whether I did.
So basically, so who determines whether or not a person has done something to merit either good or bad karma?
You're conscious, okay?
Yeah.
That determines conscious.
Conscious. Okay. So if this decision is made at the end of one's life, who is actually making the decision? So often someone says it's good, another person may say it's bad. Who's to know which is right, I guess?
Okay, who is doing the judgment, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, in the Christian sense also they have the judgment?
Yeah, they have the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is, I think, a universal law. It is like a nature. It is a nature, that is a truth fact happening, and some saints become awakened to that, and they explain the principles that take, because they have seen that other phenomena also. And according to that, they explain how this person lived and what actions. Then it's very interesting. I have no time to tell my personal sort of very proof of people how they, they are going through some difficulties, and it's not explainable, but it can be known by how they did something in the past lives and this working now. I can only touch like that, because maybe one day I meet you all, I tell you. But at least go through Edgar Cayce, Many Mansions. This will awaken you, give you super answers for all what you're thinking about it, give you right view. Any other question? Any? You have to go? Or this? This one question, and I will give you blessings, okay? And then we go, right? We're going to sleep after that. I am super fresh. I can go until morning, but sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. So you've spoken about your near-death experience in 2015, but how were you able to tackle the fact that the possibility that you could face death?
How can I tackle it?
Yeah. How could you go about thinking that I'm going to die, but it's okay?
Okay. Very good. Very good question. Your one is also very good. Okay. Yes, okay. I couldn't tell you that, so because something happened to me in Himalayas. Some people were coming and they suddenly saw me in one mountain area. Then they saw then they suddenly they have faith. They say, Swamiji. They call Swamiji. They don't know monks or whatever. He said, Swamiji, can you bless us? Did they disappear? What happened? While I was turning this, oh, they're there, okay. If anyone is going, just wait, I will bless you, okay? I don't want you to go without my present. Okay. I quickly answer. Oh, where was I? Okay, then in the Himalayas, there I was coming. And then suddenly they told me, Swamiji, please bless us. Please bless me. Because they suddenly were surprised to see me in that kind of mountain area. And then I normally did blessings. Okay, I blessed him. Then he's just waiting like this. I said, I have blessed you. Now he's okay. And he said, no, we are humans, Swamiji. We don't feel, you must touch us, touch my head. Okay, then I understood, you know, they need some touch, they need to feel. So, okay, I touched his hand. My blessings anyway go, but okay, understand him. So it's like that, right? Sometimes. So I will tell you this important question too. I mean, it's very important because now many people ask me also, Bhante, what have you achieved, you know? Going to all these mountains, I mean, Himalayas, jungle. What have you achieved? You know, this is a current now in Sri Lanka. The answer they expect, I am either have achieved Sotapanna, stream entrant, Arahant, or something. So I also look back and see what I achieved actually. I can say something that I can't tell all this pala or what states whether I have attained. That's not this thing. I would say if death is going to come, someone is going to come and, you know, going to say now immediately here, I would say to face that, I have done the best thing. In other words, this practice as a monk, what we do, you know, is we kill before death. We kill ourselves. You know, in the ordination process, very interesting. When we are taken to cut our hair, what is the feeling I got? Can you understand? Okay, I mean, I am very observant of what's going on in my mind also. Like I'm taken to gallows. Because you're cut away from my main other problem was, okay, that because I had this weakness also, you know, interest in opposite. Now all these struggles I had only, I'm telling all my, you know, techniques that I found later. So that's the main thing. Then I think, you know, all life I'm going to be like that. This thought came in a toilet, you know, in the monastery, and then suddenly I realized the technique, how to do it, how you break the illusions, that meditation, and then it came to me, peace is a practical thing. It's possible. Otherwise you're like going berserk, you know, it's freak you out. So that process, you know, now that in the ordination, when you're going for that also, it kills you. And then later on in your meditation, you're dying. You consciously learn to die, to leave the body and body sensations and go to deeper experiences of peace and this thing. So when you train like that, you already kill your passions one by one. And when you kill your passions, there's nothing to die. You don't have the idea, this is my body, and because the body works with passions and desires work using the body. And when you learn to remove this thing, you don't depend on the body, and you become more freer, and you can face that reality of death. Means body stops malfunctioning, right? It stops to function, not malfunctioning. It's stop to function, right? My tongue twisting. And so this is thing. Other thing is there's a practice. I told in short form, you know, how to watch. Now I did it a little bit. So, but you have to do daily. Habit works moment of death. If you all the time think of mortgage and all that, mortgage will come definitely. Moment of death. Yeah, really. This will happen, my friend. It's dangerous. So at least you keep it okay, but make sure daily you occupy in some. So normally, you know, whatever you are doing very habitual, you know, daily, that will come at the moment of death. So if you're always meditating, wonderful. You will meditate. Meditation will take you to the place, or you will have that meditation. So, so that is. And other thing is very important. You know, to clear these things, you have to be very careful at that age. Your parents, you know, you have to make sure that, you know, because some people old age they are getting this thought where they did this. Nobody has seen. I've seen in like who have disturbed those people. Certain things happen later, very difficult. So make sure those mistakes don't do it. Make sure they are made happy, and that is first step. Then if you're married, your husbands or wives, don't try to hurt. And you know this karma has brought you this chapati. So then make sure that, you know, you have it. And so this, if you do these things, you will have mental peace, and you're not going to. And other bad habits, if you're having anything we do hidden, we learn to remove these things. Oh, you're on a good path. You are going to face death. Now this is my main thing. Now when I'm going Kailash now, if I face now, even now if I die, I'm sure that thought not good to have, that I couldn't serve the people enough. That means a duty I have not done. I have thought too much perfection in myself and gone away. So I'm sure now, so that way you should know. Anything that you find that you have to do, you must check what you have to do, not out of desires. Some things you tell is duty and it's out of your desires you are doing. No, that is wrong. You must be careful to find out exactly. It's like this. Say something you do, and then you remember again and again that thing comes. Like your father told you to do this and you're doing something else. And the memory comes again and again. Or you are in a meditation, for example. Now you're here and you're remembering your husband or wife, or he didn't allow me to go. You're not concentrating properly. So you're not fulfilling the duty and you do this, it is nothing you're going to grasp here. So if you fulfill that or get their permission and come, you'll be free. Just an example, right? So like that you clear your mind from, you have performed your duty, it is also a virtue. And when your virtue is perfected, your concentration will automatically happen. With concentration, you will see deeply the reality immediately. Do you get some idea? Or did I answer? I don't know. You did means not exactly. You can ask again the question.
No, I was just asking, because you've mentioned your near-death experience, I was wondering how you were able to tackle the fact that death was going to come, but it's okay. I can manage this problem.
No, tell again, because of your accent, I don't understand exactly. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, it's my mistake.
No, I was just wondering, because you've mentioned your near-death experience, I was wondering...
Near-death experience,
yeah.
okay? Because you sound near death, something I can't...
okay, I'm sorry. No, because you mentioned your near-death experience, I was wondering how you were able to grasp the fact that you were going to die, or there's a possibility that you were going to die, and you were able to tell yourself that it's okay. Because most people can't accept death.
Okay, I understand, What happened there also, I can tell you exactly there, like I was in a desert-like thing. Manasarova, have you heard of that place? It is like Wild West, It's like, I don't know how, I don't know what, or the Northern Territory. Here you have Northern Territory? I don't know, maybe it's like Wild West. Anyway, there, what happened is nothing, No, I'm just there with nature and I'm losing my life. And that time, first thought came, I couldn't share enough. But I have trained to do this, to watch this, my body and all that. But daily I do this practice. It started in 2004 when I faced another not a really fully experienced, but a lot of pain in the jungle, and I was able to overcome the pain. And after that, daily I do this practice, and then that habit works. If you can't suddenly do the practice that time. That's why you must prepare already a kind of way you let go, and find happiness in being relaxed and letting go. These exercises you have to do. They will come to your it will come to your rescue. So then first one, I said I couldn't share enough. Okay. Now what I want to share is this practice. These practices I need, not like here also, we had to spend a retreat. But at least I give you some idea. I tell you word of the Buddha and all these ways to use it, and just little bit demonstrate here how to watch, and then metta and all this, little bit all of it. I give you some taste of it. If you do these practices, then after that I watch. Now actually I was like, grasping for breath really. I was losing, like I can't lift my hand also slowly. But I was just focusing that and not having anything focus as such. And just being observant. Also I told, can't help it now, like that other thing that I couldn't do anything. Now can't help it. I told myself, now it's too late, now can't help it. Now let me do this and watch. So that now this practice we have been trained to really prepare for this moment. This is our final exam. So all other thing is like, how we are prepared. We are living to face death. The whole life is made to face death. And when you know about life, you will not die. Because, you will be self-realized if you've properly done it completely. The death experience will be like awakening from a dream or something. It's not a big deal. I mean, it will be less and less depending on your amount of craving. Because, craving creates fear. And the less the craving, less the fear will be less. And if you have no craving, no fear. Right? So, but... Okay. Any more? Or enough? You feel sleepy now? Okay. All of you. All right. Any more questions? But good question. I like this kind of question because this is my cope thing, really. And this is also very good. How to know? But this is a little complicated for me because it's okay. But in God case, I hope you will answer more. Anybody else? All right. No. All questions answered, or everybody fully enlightened? How is it? Yeah. You're an old pupil, so.
Like I know there's a fact, like there's a sudden death as well. Like it's happening all the time. The death is happening all the time.
Of the Panchupadanaskandha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and also when we die really, that there's a death at that time. Like we death, our bodies die. So when you explain the Panchupadanaskandha, what's the difference? Like
between that final death and the dying of the moment.
Moment, yeah.
Okay. Dying of the moment also, you can't observe it. It becomes, you can know it from a realization. Now Panchupadans are broken down by the Buddha, The moment of consciousness is broken down to the factors of consciousness. Feeling, perception, you perceive what you feel, and how you perceive as pleasant, unpleasant or neutral, you react. That is the mental reaction is called the karma forming, sankharas. These are the process always in every moment is happening. Now this is broken down by the Buddha eye. He knows the exact, the sort of differences in that moment of consciousness. They are happening, you can't separate them, they simultaneously take place. But you will only grasp it when a moment when you are realizing about it. You can know it by realization, not by like some kind of, microscope you see these things. No, that doesn't happen. So at a realization you see the trilakshana, it is called, you're seeing the exact nature of it as impermanence and so on. So when you have realized impermanence, you have grasped it in that moment. Now, in that moment, that is at a so you don't sort of picture it now that is going to die, still in a theoretical level. You understand? Like now you know that this is finishing from that and so on. Now normally we know the body as impermanent. We can see, but the mind is so fast, it looks like a stream and looks solid and like ego. You feel the ego too much. I feeling is there with it. But when the realization comes in the realization form only, you will, that you will know that it's just a cause and effect thing and it's a transient thing. But a moment of death, that time, it is very tangible. You understand? There you are losing, and you have been experiencing the world through this body, and your cravings, like next day you can't eat, what is it, chapati, you will be worrying about it. Okay, one day when you want to eat a hopper, not hoppers here, macaroni. Okay, that is the nature of the mind. We want to live one day when that craving is there so much. We don't want to, unless we have removed the pleasures and seen these truths more, illusions more, and enlightened our mind. Depending on that level, you will not feel the death. You can accept it easily, right? 1 minute, just one minute. Stand up. Okay, so I have time until that. Okay, your question answered. You get an idea, right?
Yes, yeah. So it's through the understanding that we are realizing the moment death. So
moment death understanding comes in the form of is a realization. You will not see like some kind of flux and things. These are not, because if you realize it, you will also, not only moment you see the past, it disappeared. Future, if it comes, it will disappear. That's why that knowledge is normally called virajang vitamalang, which purifies the mind from defilements. Virajang vitamalang, which makes dispassion, virajang vitamalang, free from taints, vitamalang. Dhamma chakkung udapati. It's the eye of the Dhamma, eye of the wisdom eye. The intuitive eye from the inner brain. This opens up that eye. And what is that? That the realization is told, yam kinchi samudaya dhammang sabbantan nirodha dhammanti. Whatever rises has to pass away. It's not this arising and passing away. It is a realization. Whatever will arise will definitely arise. Passing away also arises with it. It's a mental awareness, realization that comes. That for every experience,
past, present, future, like that. Then you are completely turn away from all, you don't feel any desire for anything. But if it's a real realization, your desires will diminish to zero. And that is Nibbana. Okay? Okay. Now I will be blessing you all. Just relax the body. I'll be doing something, just few minutes. And after that, don't close your eyes. After that, wait for some time until that some recording I will tell them to put, okay? Wait until it little bit finish, okay? Absorb it a bit. 1 minute. Don't close your eyes, just relax and wait a bit. This is like a kung fu shot I have to play now, you know. It's not easy for me. So I hope it's not in my command also. Anyone having any big difficulty or still you feel worried about it? You can raise slowly your hand if you don't want anyone to notice. Yeah? I will pray for you specially. Anyone having any problem, anything? Others I will... Okay. If you have a cold or something, that's not a problem, right? Stand up a little bit. Yeah, relax the body, yeah? Relax the body. You also there. You can stand up. No. Right in behind. This one over there. You. That one behind you. This lady there. Young lady. Yeah. Just you can stand up, relax the body, right? You can relax the body. No. It's you. In front of you. Yeah. Just you can stand up and relax the body. You also. You can sit. Auntie, you can sit, auntie. Just relax the body. You also can stand up. Mali, stand up a bit. Stand up. Don't worry, I'm blessing all of you, but this is a different thing, huh? You don't have to raise your hand, don't worry. It's okay, relax, all of you. Please don't talk until tomorrow morning. Take some food. Please, tomorrow morning you can talk, right? Try to not talk. Keep this energy with you. And take dinner, okay? Take your food. Little lower. I know some technical problems. It's okay. Every sankara is impermanent, don't worry about it. If the Buddha came, did he have these gadgets? So don't worry. Not you. Just wait. Just calm the mind and wait, okay? Don't move your body, wait.
वैपत्तो प्रविष्ट प्रणष्ट गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका ब्रह्ममुरारिसुरार्चितलिङ्गम् निर्मलभासितशोभितलिङ्गम् जन्मज दुःखविनाशकलिङ्गम् तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् देवमुनि प्रवरार्चितलिङ्गम् कामदहन करुणाकरलिङ्गम् रावणदर्पविनाशनलिङ्गम् तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् सर्वसुगन्धिसुलेपितलिङ्गम् बुद्धिविवर्धनकारणलिङ्गम् सिद्धसुरासुरवन्दितलिङ्गम् तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् कनकमहामणिभूषितलिङ्गम् फणिपतिवेष्टितशोभितलिङ्गम् दक्षसुयज्ञविनाशकलिङ्गम् तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् कुङ्कुमचन्दनलेपितलिङ्गम् पङ्कजहारसुशोभितलिङ्गम् सञ्चितपापविनाशकलिङ्गम् तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् देवगणार्चितसेवितलिङ्गम् भावैर्भक्तिभिरेव च लिङ्गम् दिनकरकोटिप्रभाकरलिङ्गम् तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् अष्टदलोपरिवेष्टितलिङ्गम् सर्वसमोद्भवकारणलिङ्गम् अष्टतरेत्रविनाशकलिङ्गम् तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् सुरगुरुसुरवरपूजितलिङ्गम् सुरवनपुष्पसदार्चितलिङ्गम् परमपदं परमात्मकलिङ्गम् तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम्